Welcome, everyone, to Bryant Stadium, Bill Castle Field, high above Bill Castle Field. And it is a warm early October evening. As a matter of fact, watching the weather report, we were breaking some record heat today. And we'll see if the Dreadnaughts can throw some heat down against the Centenial Eagles tonight, coming into Bryant Stadium with a 3-2 record. The Dreadnaughts last week, of course, with a dominating performance and outgunned for sure against Strawberry Crest, 39 points in the first quarter, so kind of unprecedented points being put up. Again, Strawberry Crest had their hands full. As a matter of fact, from some of the stats that we saw, 0 yardage given up by the defense, so that's another one of those crazy statistics last week. But it's kind of a scrimmage warm-up for the Dreadnaughts there last week. This week, again, 3-2. The Centenial Eagles coming in wanting to maybe take a bite out of the Dreadnaughts, and they would love to spoil homecoming, a big night here tonight at Bryant Stadium. So it's always a special night at homecoming. We do have the team in full force tonight, although Jeff is not here yet. He is on his way. The GPS said he's about 20 minutes out or so he should be here right at kickoff or just shortly after kickoff. So not much to talk about. Again, highlights last week, as we said, just a dominating performance overall by the Dreadnaughts. This week, again, looking for a steady performance on all sides of the ball. A continued progression from the quarterback Garnett, who stepped in, of course, for Mason Martin here a few weeks back. He's continuing to improve as he really leads the offense now. He is the 12th grader, of course, so looking for that senior leadership. Fantastic, of course, to have Mason Martin in the background, the 10th grader who's gotten so much experience to this point. But it is Garnett's team unless something happens from here the rest of the way of the season. And he's that dual threat, as we talked about before. He can pass the ball very efficiently, but also they have to respect the run. It's kind of like you looked at Russell Wilson last night. He kind of reminds him a lot of a young Russell Wilson, how he plays back there. And as you know, that's quite a weapon to have. To add to the numerous other weapons, DeMarcus Bowman was resting last week. We'll see if he's going to play full force this evening. Kind of remains to be seen. But Reggie Kellum, again, didn't miss a step, literally. We have that kind of power to put 2 or 3 backs in. And Jakari, of course, coming in. And just really steadfast backfield that has no holes in it, and as strong as can be, plug any player in, and you're looking to do some great things in the backfield. So, but with the talent of the quarterback Garnett, you can mix things up a little bit now. That option, he loves to run the option play as well, so opens up more of the playbook, which is not good for the opposing defenses, as the Dreadnaughts have put up a lot of points this year, and early and often, as we would say. And running clock, certainly a possibility tonight, but the Naughts are going to have to be on their game. They always seem to have that one hiccup game where they let a team get a little too close and play a little loose. Hopefully that's not tonight on homecoming. Their focus, sometimes those distractions, we talk about those, can be readily available with all the pomp and circumstance and activities that happen during homecoming week. And a lot of the football players sometimes are in that homecoming party. And sometimes can be a little distracting, but I'm sure Coach Castle has the reins on him. He's been through this just 1 or 2 times before, and he will do a fine job of corralling his players. I would like to thank some of our friends at Mid-State Industrial Maintenance. They are our sponsors this evening, and we thank them for being the sponsors for the webcast this evening. I couldn't do it without them, and our other great sponsors as well. We'll see them during some of the commercials throughout the game. We thank Michael Barrett and team for getting us on here again. This is, in fact, the last non-district game before we have 3 consecutive district games in a row coming up. And again, we're at home here, of course, on homecoming at Bryant Stadium, but next week we will be going away. Like I said, starting a run of 3 consecutive district games, ending with the last regular season game here at Bryant Stadium against Kathleen, the Red Devils. And it doesn't matter, again, we always say throw the records out the window for that game because you just never know what they're going to bring. They always bring high intensity, we know that, and they're a scrappy team, and sometimes they can come up and get you. And so the Naughts are going to have to be on these next 3 games. So tune-up, non-district game tonight, then 3 consecutive ones in a row. We'll see how we fare, of course, in the district as a highly anticipated Naught team this year. Many people, again, already in their minds, maybe prematurely, getting that matchup between St. Thomas and Lakeland in a state championship scenario to do round 2 of last year. Many rounds, of course, if you go back many years, but the Aquinas team, of course, top 10, top 5, depending on what national polls you look at. The Dreadnaughts are in many national polls in the top 20, and of course in the state, they're the top 2 teams in our division, in our class. So we look forward to this game tonight. Jeff Goddard will be here, like I said, in a few moments. We thank you for settling in with us on this early October evening. Again, a little bit hot here up in the press box, but as the sun goes down, we'll cool things off, and the Dreadnaughts will get underway. So with that, we're going to take our first commercial break and be right back with you here for some homecoming festivities and to get this action underway. So we'll be back with you in just one moment.
Agnini Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agnini Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
Agnini Family Dental and our sponsor tonight, Mid-State Industrial Maintenance. We thank them so much again for the webcast sponsorship tonight. So some things that we notice if you're a Dreadnought fan that may be not too unusual is that the Dreadnoughts seem, you may be just asking this question because I always do, is how come the Dreadnoughts seem to get penalized more than every other team? When we look at, even when we play some of these perhaps lesser teams, the flags just love to fly, and as I watch the umpires literally stretching, warming up here for this game, we hope they don't have their warm-ups with their hands and their elbows tonight. And I'm sure that's one thing Coach Castle has talked to the kids about. You know, high school football, like any other sport, when you have the human factor and you have those umpires, there can be a lot of discretion, shall we say, on either end, but the Dreadnaughts do seem to kind of get the short end of the stick with that several times on the penalty calls. And, they expect a lot from the Dreadnaughts. Obviously, Coach Bill Castle team, and they know the kind of talent that Lakeland has, so they perhaps watch us a little more closely. So, are we getting penalized fairly? The same thing. That'd be a good topic of discussion. And we can certainly, that's one thing you can ask Coach Bill Castle when he has his meetings on Monday night in the weight room. And they go break down the game from the past night. And it's really a good opportunity to talk to Coach Castle about all those little topics and questions you may have about Lakeland High School football. But again, highly anticipated as the Lakeland High School Dreadnought Marching Band in their full get-up tonight for homecoming, of course. So we usually have that extended halftime at homecoming, which allows for the homecoming party to be introduced. And then, of course, they pick a king and queen, which we will crown tonight. And again, we hope the Dreadnaughts will stay undefeated as they continue this campaign 2019 towards perhaps their second state title bid here in 2019. So an exciting time as, again, Jeff Goddard should be joining us any minute. We thanks for a couple of those people that have stepped in the past few weeks to help us with the broadcasting. It's always a team effort, and we appreciate that. And for those of you listening to us, again, around the state of Florida, thanks for joining us, around the nation, and even internationally. We love for you to comment on the webcast. We love for you to be a part of things. If you have questions or just want to say something about this year's team, we love for you to do that. And, of course, you can always follow us easily on LakelandHighSchoolFootball.com and the various social media networks that we have. I'm not sure if the actual Michael said some of the titles may not be working tonight, so he may not be able to post some things up on the screen as the computer, of course, technology giving us a little bit of fits with some of that. But hopefully, again, you enjoyed the broadcast, the webcast tonight. And we're back here for home again after going away for a few games, and then back again with Kathleen to round out this regular season. Hard to believe, right, that we're already this far into the season, but things go quickly. And, again, that fall is upon us for sure. So, again, with that, not a whole lot more for the pregame. The Lakeland High School Band, again, is getting things. We may step it down to watch the Lakeland Dreadnaught Marching Band and to get the colors that will be playing in just a moment. So we'll turn around and watch the Lakeland High School Band for a moment.
To honor America, please stand and participate at this time as Director of Bands, Mr. Luke Hart, conducts the Dreadnaught Band in our national anthem.
The Lakeland High School Dreadnaught Marching Band, who is in fine form and sound as good as ever. The runway to victory, as we turned around, is set and ready to go. A lot of work goes into that thing. Boy, the junior ROTC does such a fantastic job. We always talk about how fortunate we are to have kind of the whole celebration. Everyone's a part of the family, and everyone does a job, and it comes together to be quite the experience for Friday Night Live. So we hope we can bring you a slice of that here on the webcast every week as you hear the Dreadnaughts playing Anchors Away as the Dreadnaughts. You may even notice the drum major. She's looking pretty dapper tonight. She looks very good in her dress. Of course, she is part of the homecoming court. So as we said, it is homecoming night here at Bryant Stadium. A special night always on and off the field and all the other activities that are happening. So we look forward to bringing you some of that action at halftime as well. So if you stick with us and some of your kids are in the homecoming court, you can see them on the webcast. And these webcasts are also archived. We'd like you to know you can watch them on YouTube. So anytime if you want to go back, look at a game, look at a play that you say, I got to see that play again. We have some pretty talented players. DeMarcus Bowman, Garnett, all those guys that make the highlight reels. It's great to go back. I love doing that myself and kind of watching. It's one of those hard things to listen to yourself, but sure enough, watching the Dreadnaughts play is something special. So those are archived on YouTube as well that you can go back and watch. So just a reminder there, as we were just awaiting for the Dreadnaughts and the team captains to come out on the field. And with that, we'll get things underway in just a short time. Now I finally feel a little bit of a breeze hitting the back of my neck off Lake Parker, so that's always a good thing as well. And again, I'd encourage you, if you have not been to one of the Coach Bill Castle meetings on Monday night, he has a special guest usually come in that will break down even a position. So if you love football, the X's and O's of football, they will come in and actually talk about one position for 20, 30 minutes and kind of what that means and how they incorporate that one position into the flow of the offense or defense, depending on what position that would be. very knowledgeable people usually come in. Sometimes he brings past players in that were former coaches. And again, it's always a neat experience if you love Lakeland High School football. Of course, if you're here in the area. If not, we again thank you for joining us on the webcast this evening. So as you can tell, not a lot to talk about this game, though. As we can see, the captains now are taking the field. So we want to show the captains, number 4, number 9, number 2, and number 8 for the Knots. And we thank you. Let me see the other announcements. We thank you to Bedrock's Wings, who provided some press box food tonight. They did a great job. I scarfed down a couple sandwiches, and some of the boneless wings are fantastic. If you've never had Bedrock Wings. And again, thanks for them for being the press box sponsor. You can go visit Bedrock's on Edgewood Drive this weekend and enjoy. Mind you that there also is post-game gathering. So you want to head out to Duke's here in Lakeland. If you've not been to Duke's on South Florida Avenue on the south end of town, you can get a free appetizer as well. And they always have a celebration after each game. The JV football team played Lake Gibson last night and won 16-14. So sometimes we don't give enough credit for the junior varsity football team. They have a record of 3-1 this year, so they're doing a nice job as well. We always get those JV. Go ahead. Confusion up in the press box, but they always, of course, are our grooming group to come up and to take some of the positions of the varsity football players. We notice, of course, on the roster we have a lot of 10th graders on the Lakeland roster, which we love, including the backup quarterback Mason Martin. But we're also going to be losing a number of seniors this year as we have some of the coaches just crossing over to get to the other side. As you can see, the Dreadnought captains getting ready to take their positions behind the runway to victory, and they will join their team in just a moment. Number 51 for the Knots with the big stick getting ready to lead the charge. It's Matt Santos, the junior, the 5'10 junior, and here come your Dreadnaughts. Nothing like it. The Knots head to the north end zone, taking a knee for just a moment as they settle themselves in to play some football. Dreadnoughts did win the opening coin toss, and they elected to defer, of course, as we would expect. Dreadnoughts will defend the north end zone, as we just heard them announce. And we are just moments from getting underway. The undefeated Lakeland High School Dreadnaughts against the 3-2 Centennial Eagles here at Bryant Stadium on homecoming night, October 4th edition of the webcast. Thanks again to our friends at Mid-State Industrial Maintenance for sponsoring the webcast this evening, as well as all our sponsors. Highly anticipated season, and so far the Dreadnaughts living up to it. 2019, can they keep the big Dreadnought ship rolling through calm waters? That question will be answered in just a few minutes. Kicker for Lakeland High School is starting to come into his own. Kickers sometimes get made fun of, but that's a high-pressure job, and it's a big part of the special teams play. Matthew Word, the 11th graders, stepped up, so to speak, and filled some big shoes from last year, donning the nice orange digs on his feet this evening. Dreadnaughts, orange jerseys, black pants, traditional helmet, looking very October fallish. Matthew Word kicks it off. Nice kick deep to the 5-yard line. Looked like they threatened a reverse, and they do. Number 23 has it, but has not fooled the special teams. Pulled down right there at about the 17-yard line. Nice job of kind of sticking your guns to the special teams defense. They didn't get fooled by the little misdirection play, and our defense takes the field, who again was just dominating last week. Poor Strawberry Crest only had about 20 players that had to go both ways, so it really wasn't a fair fight. But 0 yards, however you look at it, is no more than any one of us got that weren't on the field. A little bit more of a challenge this evening. He's just waiting for the umpires to blow the last whistle to get things underway. Jeff Goddard, like I said, should be joining us momentarily. He's fighting that I-4 traffic, had a project thrown in his lap. They said they had to get some things ready for tomorrow, and but it's headed this way. Just underway, that was opening kick. Thanks for joining us if you just tuned in to the live webcast. First play on offense upcoming for the Eagles. Starting just outside their 15 at the 17-yard line. Shotgun formation, snap, call for the ball. Good snap, handoff number 3. Good hole up the middle, and the running back is down to the 43. Huge opening play, and that's about 18 yards more than the entire team had last week against this Dreadnought defense. So, again, you can't rest, you can't sleep. Huge hole straight up the middle, which were uncharacteristically for the Dreadnought defense. They got slashed. I take that back for 25, 26 yards on that opening play. Second play now on offense with a fresh set of downs. The quarterback looking out of the shotgun, 4 yards deep, 2 steps back, fires, and nearly picked off. That should have been taken by Jalen Christian all the way. My goodness.
Blaine Watkins' pass is incomplete.
The 12th grade defensive back, number 6, stepped right in front of it, read the quarterback perfectly. Blaine Watkins, the senior quarterback, 6'1", 180 for Centennial, did not see Jalen Christian. And Jalen had every jump you could possibly want. Just sometimes when it's an easy catch, you just miss it. Watkins tries that same play on first down off the right side. This time the Dreadnaughts close the gap, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. 3rd down, rather, after the incompletion.
No gain on the play.
So 3rd and long here, testing the Eagles for the first time this evening on a 3rd and 10. Dreadnought defense trying to not let the Eagles come into our territory on our side of the field. Watkins still out of the shotgun, calls for the ball, fires it over for like a mid-screen pass where the intended receiver, Chad Aronson, was going to come back over the middle of the field and try to follow his blockers, but a little bit of a mistiming between the quarterback, Watkins, and the receiver, Aronson, and incomplete pass will bring up 4th down, punt for the Eagles, as you see on the replay. Finley Graham, Kendall Dennis back. Just shy of the 30-yard line, not knowing what to expect from the punter. It looks like there will be some stoppage of play, flag on
the play.
The snap. Looks like someone got a little jumpy. It was the Knots. Still 4th and 5, and I imagine the Eagles will still punt as the ball did not cross midfield. Just backing Finley Graham up and Dennis up a few yards. Number 4 set the block back for the Eagles. Has plenty of time. Just takes a step and launches a pretty nice punt. Finley Graham is going to catch it, drop it, pick it back up, look for some room. Tries to get to the outside, breaks 1 tackle at the 20. Looking to reverse his field, maybe a little too fancy there, and ends up fumbling the ball outside at the 22. So all that for nearly about the normal field position, just above the 20-yard line for the Knots on their first offensive try of the evening. Sometimes Finley loves to just change and switch field altogether, and he catches a lot of the special teams defense off guard for switching directions literally 180 degrees opposite, but that time white and red jerseys all over in his field of vision, decided to try to keep it on the sidelines. And didn't help that he fumbled the initial punt. Garnett. That's actually a direct snap to Finley Graham off the left side, number 2 in the Wildcat.
Finley Graham on the carry.
Gets a carry. Maybe Coach Castle working on a few things.
Play lost 2 yards. Brings
But
up second down and 12.
that one did not work. 2nd and 12 on a 2-yard loss for the Knott offense. On their first offensive try. Number 10 splitting out wide, the speedster, Smith. One wide receiver near side. Quarterback handoff left side, pick up of a few yards, getting the loss yardage back and a couple more. But it'll bring still 3rd down and long up for the Dreadnought offense as Garnett comes over to Coach Castle. That was a carry by Bowman, just a 4-yard as Jakari Martin checks in.
Down and 8.
A little bit unusual for these long 3rd down situations. 3rd and 8. Jeff Goddard makes it up to the press box, dodging traffic here on a Friday evening, but he's going to settle in with us. 9:16 just underway. First offensive possession for the Knots as Garnett looks to roll out. Has some pressure, throws it short to number 1, DeMarcus Bowman, out of the backfield, and did not allow Debo to get any kind of running room or turf underneath him. He had to dive for the catch. So a 2-yard gain only and brings up a 4th down. Jeff, not looking so good on our first offensive possession, looking real sluggish as the Eagles outgained us on their first possession, so the Knots having to punt things away. Welcome.
Good to see you, Tim. Glad to be here. Yeah, that's a play where if that ball is up and hits DeMarcus Bowman and the numbers in his stride, he has a chance to make something happen and maybe pick up a 1st down. But with the ball being down his ankles, it really gave him no chance to do anything.
Garnett, of course, stays in to punt the ball. He's got a big leg, and
nice
he just
punt.
booms one. Gets a lot of air underneath it. It's going to let it bounce. Takes a good Dreadnought bounce, and the Centennial Eagle will pick it up. He's running backwards, and a beautiful
Nice
tackle on the left side. Boy, what a beautiful job. I think that's number 20 for the Knots. It is, in fact, Dontavian Smith. Nice job.
Yeah, I was actually thought he was going to get by Smith and had a chance to run the sideline, but just a great open field tackle there by Smith. Tremendous effort on special teams.
It's one of those things where special teams initially looked like they kind of overran it. They thought that the Centennial Eagle player was not going to pick it up, and they kind of ran right by him, and he scooped it up on a 1-hopper, and a penalty against the Knots actually gives the Eagles pretty darn good field position outside the 40 to the 42.
The Eagles take over 1st down and 10. From
That's highly unusual to see a holding call on the punt team.
Yeah.
Normally you see on the punt receiving team, so a little bit of a odd call there, but nonetheless it's going to put Centennial in a little bit better field position.
Blaine Watkins, again, their quarterback, has done nothing but work out of the shotgun so far. He has a single back set and spreading the field 3 deep on the far side, 1 to the near side. Javion Toombs, the wide receiver, and the umps again will blow the whistle as the ball is snapped. So just one of those games that's, Jeff, just tough getting into some momentum here. We've had some whistles being blown and some just odd kind of plays, but that one goes against the Eagles, pushing them back 5 yards.
Lakeland might be in for a little bit of a, I know culture shock's the right word, but after such an easy game last week, where we basically played our backups most of the game, we're playing a pretty good team tonight at Centennial, so it's going to be a test for the Dreadnaughts for sure.
This time firing it over, that was nearly, good tackle there. I believe it was actually passed behind the line, so it was almost a lateral, really. And thankfully for the receiver, he got it, and he took 2 steps and got banged by Q Hall.
That's definitely a lateral for sure.
Yep. Watch this. 1, 2.
Did a little spin.
Boom.
Did a little spin move. Thought he got away from the one guy, but Q Hall was having none of that. Actually, when I was walking up a while ago, Bill Deeney was kind of lighting into Hall on the sideline. So I'm not sure what happened in the previous series, but he was not happy about something. But Q Hall making up for it there with a nice stick.
Watkins calls, looking deep, throws the ball, and no one's there.
Great job by the Lakeland defensive back not biting on the head fake.
That was Jalen Christian.
By the quarterback. Yeah, great
nearly
job.
had a pick. He had a walk in the end zone pickoff attempt. He broke on it, Jeff, and was 6 yards clear, but just dropped the ball on early on their first possession. But the biggest play of the night so far actually came. The Eagles had a 26-yard run there.
I was walking up. Another holding against the Dreadnaughts. Maybe that's why he had such good coverage.
Good grief.
As that was the classic stop-and-go pattern there by the Centenial wide receiver.
There's new players checking in on the defensive line for the Knots. Second down and 10. Snap again, shotgun, looking for room, getting pressure, tries to just fling it over.
Screen
pass setup.
Did a good job of setting that up.
The linebacker set in there and just maybe a yard gain.
Dreadnought down on the field, though. Let's see the replay here. Beautiful play design here by Centennial. Nice job of the quarterback getting it out. Nice catchable ball, throwing off his back foot. Or back feet, I should say. That's number 11, the tackle for the Dreadnaughts, Tyrell Jones. But we do have an injured Dreadnought. I'm not sure if that's Tyrell or somebody else.
Sometimes the problem with those screens, you obviously take advantage of the defensive speed coming in, and you want to have those players release and you throw it over the top of them. But that one took so long, the linebackers just kind of sat in their position, and by the time the receiver got the ball, the linebackers just had to take a couple steps up and drop them for only a yard and a half.
Yeah, Lakeland did a great job defending that play for sure. Really on the screens, the perfect play to have that called on is when the team blitzes and you actually almost want to bait them in and then throw it over their heads. But like you said, good job by the Lakeland linebackers cleaning that up. As the injured Dreadnought was number 33. France Jean Charles had a really good game last week. Hopefully he'll be healthy and okay. He looks like he's all right as he walked off the field in his own power.
So we've seen a pretty good mix of plays by the Eagles. They've attempted to throw it. They've been really unsuccessful. They've thrown a screen. They've tried to go long. They've tried those outside routes, just trying anything to spread the Dreadnought defense. Blaine Watkins, again, quarterbacks have faced this challenge all year long against this very speedy Dreadnought defense. Fires over the middle, and it should have been caught, but hammered. Maybe heard, again, as I think Jalen Christian again over there, just playing lights out so far this evening.
That was a good pass, slightly high, but he got his hands on it. You got to make that catch. That was a nice looking throw.
I don't know if the Eagles saw something on film, Jeff, but they're attacking Jalen Christian over there, but he's doing a nice job of both coverage and breaking on the ball. But I agree with you, that should have been caught.
DeJuan Black was the wide receiver. I'm sure he would tell you that's one that he should have caught to pick up his quarterback, Blaine Watkins, the senior signal caller.
Dayton Blackwood set to punt things away for the Eagles, takes 2 steps, kicks a good hard driving kick.
Nice punt.
It's going to drop back. And Finley Graham, boy, risky play, taking it, cuts back again.
He's got a lane.
Has some room. Finley Graham cuts back over the middle. He has some space.
He's going to take
Finley
it to the
Graham
house.
Down to the 40. If there's no flags, Finley Graham will go all the way. 20, 10, number 2, dances his way to a touchdown. Like only he can. What turns out to be an extremely risky
Are you kidding
initial
me?
5 steps.
That's as nice of a punt return for a touchdown as you'll ever see. As you see the replay here, that was about 95 yards, catching it off the bounce over his head, breaks the initial tackle, and you can tell the field set up nicely with the cutback. And the guy had him right there, but he was even with him, and Finley left him in the
turned
dust.
on the extra gear at about the 30-yard line, and
About
just as you
50-yard
said,
line,
separation ensued, and no chance.
If you're a Gator fan, you got to be excited. Finley's going to be wearing the orange and blue next year.
Looked a little like the state championship return last year that he did the 99-yarder on the kickoff, but that one a punt return. And no high fives there, though, because Howard not there. But
another high snap, and here comes Arian Smith.
Yeah, Arian's going to get the corner, I think, and did he get in? We're waiting. He got it. So all Arian has to do is turn and put on the jets and run to the cone.
Here's the big debate. Do you think they're doing that? Is that a design 2-point conversion, or is that off a bad snap? It happened like twice last week.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a high percentage play when you got a speedster like that. All he does is turn and immediately run to the cone. That's all you have to do. And if it's one-on-one, he's got the option, obviously, of cutting inside If he thinks he's got the cone, then just take it there. But if not, he's got that option. So very high percentage 2-point play.
So 8-0 Dreadnaughts. Let's see. Hopefully we can see that replay one more time. I don't know if it's possible, if it's too late, but I'd love to see a replay of that punt return one more time.
95-yard punt return for a touchdown.
Officially a 95-yarder.
Now that we've already had another play after, I'm not sure if we can see it again, but man, I would love to see that one more time if possible. That was just a beautiful punt return by Finley Graham. You know, and I'm not sure if he'll play next year as a true freshman at Florida as a cornerback, but I would just about guarantee you, here, as you see there, Finley just leaving Centennial in the dust. Just pulled away from that guy like it was nothing at midfield. But I would imagine, if nothing else, he'll be seeing plenty of action as a punt and kickoff returner for the Gators next year.
Yeah, the Eagles, I would agree. The Eagles had a hand on him, Jeff, at the 2-yard line.
He broke a tackle.
Yeah, he broke a tackle down in there inside the 5. And that's why it was so risky. He could have been dropped right there, which would have pinned the Knots back. But he sets it up like only he can. He's got great vision, and he just looks.
Once he broke that first tackle and got to about the 10-yard line, you can see that the sea was parting, and he had a good chance to have a good return. And then once he, cut back and turned on the afterburners, it was all she wrote for
Matthew
Centennial.
Word lays into it. Nice kick. Matthew drives him back to the 1-yard line. The Eagles going to step back. Has a gap that closed in a hurry. Special teams drops him right there near the 20-yard line.
So Lakeland having a strong start to the game in special teams tonight, Tim. Want to give a shout out to our good friend Keith Cornea up in the mountains of Tennessee. As you see the replay here, Blackwood's going to get popped pretty good and brought down quickly at the 21-yard line. Good job by Lakeland. Ellefson with the tackle for the Dreadnaughts. But Keith, glad you're watching. As he commented, what a return by Finley Graham. I agree with you, Keith. Fantastic return. I'm glad you're watching tonight. I'm sure you probably have at least slightly cooler weather up in Tennessee than we have here in Florida.
Trying to spread the defense again is Watkins in the Eagles. Shotgun sends the man in motion, cross left side, looks left, and then throws right. Nearly picked off again.
Wow.
I can't believe that's still Jalen Christian, who had a second opportunity
he got
to
his
take
hands
one away.
That was a great play by the cornerback.
Yeah.
That's not an easy play to make coming from the underneath there.
See on the
backside
replay is Christian just out hustles the receiver, gets to the ball, and just unable to hold on to it again.
He came from underneath the play there to get his hands on it. If he doesn't get his hands on it, then that's a catch and a gain, possibly a big gain for Centennial. We want to give a shout out to our sponsor tonight, Mid-State. We appreciate as they are sponsoring the webcast and the game here at the stadium tonight, because we're having our first quarter water break here. So if you're at home, you have a chance to go to the fridge and grab a frosty cold beverage.
Might be needed here in the press box. Still sticky for October 4th. Some cooler air coming next week, we hear. Slightly cooler, I'd
That'd
say.
Be nice.
Not a lot, but down into the mid-80s maybe.
Of course, if you're a college football fan, or especially a Gator fan, you know that Auburn is in town in Gainesville to play Florida at the Swamp tomorrow. I've heard a rumor that Gus Malzahn is going to be here at the game tonight, which of course would make sense as our starting quarterback, Shell Garnett, is an Auburn commitment. So I was looking on the side. I don't necessarily see him, but I'm not sure if that's true, but I've heard that he's going to be here at Bryant Stadium tonight, coming down from Gainesville. As a couple weeks ago, one of the Tennessee coaches was here when Tennessee played Florida.
Oh, my Lord. Again, number 11 that time. Tyrell Jones for the Knots had the opportunity to pick it off.
That one hit him in the hands.
I mean, he looked like he was the receiver on that play.
Yeah, that was more as opposed to a great play by him. That was just a bad throw by the quarterback. But yeah, that hit him right here.
Here again, Watkins, you can see, steps back, and Watkins just tries to fire it and get speed on there out to his receiver, but not able to get it through two defenders, and number 11.
It hit Tyrell Jones in the hands. Perfect pass to Tyrell Jones, but he was not able to haul it in. 3rd and 10 here for the Eagles.
Only a matter of time, as we should say. Now 3 opportunities missed by the Knots to have what would seemingly be easy interceptions. And 3rd and 10 is not where you want to be if you're the Eagles. Just trying anything again against the defense. Passing game not really working right now. Drops back again. This time to keep it himself, just on a, I don't know if that was designed or not, but
3 yards, maybe 4. So it's going to be 4th and about maybe 6.5.
I think there was just that good a coverage, Jeff. He really wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think it was a design quarterback run. I think you're right. Good coverage, so he took off.
So Blackwood will step back again to punt the ball on a 4th and 6. And again, the biggest play for the Eagles so far came on their first play of the night, that 26-yard run they've been unable to punch it into Dreadnought territory. The Knots really not having momentum on offense themselves, only scoring on the punt return by Finley Graham. Let's see.
Almost a block that time, but he gets it off, and it's going to go out of bounds and take a little bit of a bounce for Centenial before it goes out of bounds.
There's a late flag with extracurricular kind of activity going on way, way over here on the sideline.
The question is who they're going to call it on.
They were both a part of it. Let's see who the ump saw as the infractor. They were both getting on it a little bit, and just depends on who caught the eye of the umpire there. Number 6 pleading his case, Henry Pickens for the Eagles, saying, "Man, I was just holding on to me. I was just trying to get him off me." Ref's still conferring on it.
I think they might have to flip a coin as to decide who to call that penalty, or maybe they could call offsetting.
Offsetting and let it roll, I'd say. Gives Garnett some extra time to talk to Coach Castle on the sideline.
Of course, Lakeland's only had one offensive possession. Now this will be their second. We'll see if they can get something going. This one, unlike their first possession.
Penalty is unsportsmanlike. Penalty is a personal foul against the Eagles.
So they decided to call it on the Eagles. Looks like maybe they were debating too, unsportsmanlike conduct or personal foul. But the yardage is the same, 15. So it doesn't really matter from that perspective. So it's going to give Lakeland the ball, Tim, in excellent field position in Eagle territory. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the Eagles.
If you haven't seen
It looks like 36-yard line, so excellent field position.
If you haven't seen the Dreadnought offense play much this year, you would have seen that first series and been like, what? That can't be the same offense that put up 39 points in the first quarter with the help of the defense. But
you gotta look at who you're playing.
But yeah, but still, that was one of the, I have to say, sloppiest first possessions or possessions I've seen from the Knots in a long time. Let's see if they can rebound here on offense. Right now, special teams making them look pretty good. The defense gets set for the Eagles, and we are working out of the strong eye.
As you see now, one of the Centennial coaches out in the field, 2 of them talking with the ref and another official. I'm not sure why they have the ball at the 36. I thought the ball went out of bounds down around the 40-yard line, so I would have thought they would have had it. Lakeland should have it around the Centennial 45. So I guess they said went out of bounds farther up the field than I realized. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Or they could also be asking for an explanation on the penalty.
Yeah,
this is quite the delay. You typically don't see this much back and forth after a penalty.
Kind of like you were just alluding to, Jeff. I never really saw them mark the ball specifically on the
But I thought, if anything, it went out in between the 35 and 40-yard line.
But it was one of those angular putts, so it could have gone out 5 or 7 yards sooner than what we saw from our vantage point.
I mean, assuming they marked it off correctly, then obviously it must have said the ball went out of bounds around the 49-yard line, of Lakeland. But maybe that's what Centennial was asking about, saying, hey, why is it all the way upfield there? Because that's definitely farther along up the field than I thought the ball was going to be marked.
Congratulations to the Lady Knots golf team.
Either way, a long delay, like you said. Oh, we just heard the announcement that the Lakeland High School, the Lady Dreadnought golf team, won the county, I guess, tournament today.
74.
Fantastic, with some good individual performances.
The runner-up for the 76.
Low scoring, 74, 76.
Congratulations.
Way to go, girls.
Championships. Go Knots.
Back-to-back championships for the Lady Dreadnought golf team. So we, I think, are about to get things back underway. Still some talking going on over there on the Eagle sideline. But I don't think they're
I think the Eagles coaches got to accept that's what it is and play defense.
Drop back Garnett. Quick handoff. Nice tackle, actually. Draw play to Bowman. And that was a really nice job by number 4, Deshaun Aline, of tripping him up. Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been a big game to see the replay here.
goes low, which is the best way to get Bowman. He can't really attack him high. He's going to bounce off the shoulder.
There's actually 2 of the Eagle defenders there, so I don't think he would have gotten that much more yards, but at least a couple more yards, and that for the good tackle there. I love the draw play. You don't see that a lot in football anymore, but I've always liked that as a running play.
Draw play actually can set up a lot of other plays as well. Multifunctional. Garnett, 3-4 steps drop, looking deep, but now going to run. Takes off himself, and that's that other aspect of Garnett that a lot of defenses have to respect, is that he didn't see things quickly, Jeff, and he just took off and picked up about 6 yards. Yeah.
So that's to be 3rd and short, maybe 3rd and about 2 or 3.
Brings up 3rd down and 3.
So number 33 for the Eagles, David Green, and 54, Caleb Excellent. And what a last name.
Yeah.
With the tackle there. So we'll call it 3rd and 3 from the 29-yard line.
Two wide receivers, Smith and Roll out to this near side. Boy, handoff and dropped. But they dropped. They covered everyone. They covered the quarterback and Bowman.
Bowman lost a couple yards, and then Garnett got drilled as well. You're right. They had both options covered on the read option there.
Tell you what, not sure what the Eagles saw on film, but their defensive line knows something. They're getting through our offensive line.
5 on that play. Oh, yeah,
really.
That's just
but they're just missing blocks.
I think it's a missed blocking assignment. It's not like, it wasn't like he just beat a guy. He just had an unabated path to the backfield there.
But it was more than one player. It was a couple of them getting in there in a hurry. So Knott's going to have to clean some things up on the offensive line.
I think the guy that drilled Garnett was, I think, the defensive back almost coming in on blitz. I get that, but the guy that tackled Bowman, that should not be happening.
Garnett getting pressure. Number 14 is going to drop him. What a nice play.
I thought he had I think he kind of waited a little bit too long to start running. I think if he had tucked off running by a second quicker, I think he might have been able to get his speed up and had a chance to pick up the first down. But nonetheless, that's going to be a sack, and the ball will go back over to the Eagles as the Dreadnaughts squander field position starting at the Eagles' 36-yard line.
Number 14, Caleb Dumercy. I like that name, Dumercy. Chased him out of the pocket and dropped Garnett.
So far, the only offense for the Dreadnaughts was the 95-yard punt return by Finley Graham.
Looking shaky on homecoming. Now, I talked a little bit on pregame. You just never know if the kids are distracted or, again, just a little, have to get those batteries charged up again after a kind of a lackluster opponent last week. Could be multiple things, but they don't look sharp right now.
So C.J. Roberts on the carry. France Jean Charles with the tackle. Play gain to yard. Brings up 2nd down and 9.
So France Jean Charles is back on the field and doing fine.
Some movement.
See, he had that last tackle for the Dreadnaughts. That's going to be 2 flags on the play, I believe. The first one and that second one's going to be a late hit,
probably going to be offsetting. It should be. It was a late hit. Number 51, I don't think heard the whistle. He was just trying to be aggressive on the play, and then an Eagle kind of retaliated and knocked his helmet off, gave him a nice forearm shot. And then the umpire and ref. Last thing you need to do, Dreadnaughts, is you don't provoke the other coach, Dreadnaughts. That ain't cool. So just lay low and chill. Stop.
Once again, we're having a huddle to discuss the penalties. That's a third of the coaching staff for the Eagles out there talking with the referee. It's very unusual to have these kind of conferences with one coaching staff regarding penalties.
Eagles coach getting fired up, and that may actually prove to be a good challenge because I think they'll probably call offsetting now. I don't know that they were going to do that, but let's see.
So the first call is offsides against the Dreadnaughts, and then we're going to have a personal foul. So offsides will count against Lakeland, and the personal fouls are offsetting.
Yeah. So
I knew there was an initial penalty on the play.
3 penalties on that play. 2 offset, 1 will stick against the Knots.
things are getting chippy here. It's not like it's a rivalry game or anything. It's not like it's Lakeland Kathleen or whatever, but yeah, things are definitely getting chippy here. The first quarter, you wouldn't necessarily have expected it in this game.
I've been away for a few weeks. This just does not look like the same Dreadnought team that I saw a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm just being transparent. I've seen a lot of Dreadnought teams. They the way they're acting and just the way they're performing.
Good tackle there by the Dreadnought defensive line.
We can make excuses, but they've dropped 3 interception passes that they should have had. That could make a difference. They have not done anything on offense.
Diamante Baldwin on a tackle for the Dreadnoughts after about a 2-yard gain.
3rd down and 3. The Eagles 4 yards deep. Send a man in motion, fired over, caught. First down should be with
first down, yep.
Forward progress has him a good yard and a half past the sticks. Blackwood, who also punts. Christian on the far side with the tackle. Very active tonight. They needed
nice
4, they got 5.
Simple pitch and catch for first down for the Eagles.
Watkins with a little bit of momentum on their side now after the penalty and the first down completion. Drops back again. Hitch move, fires it. Oh, should have had number 2, who actually had some space. Finley Graham,
he was open.
The safety, hadn't gotten there yet. And if he would have threw it to the right shoulder, he would have had him.
It was just a little to the right and out of bounds there. For all you baseball fans out there, the Rays unfortunately lost game 1, but the Astros are so tough. I mean, Justin Verlander's
one
dealing.
word, man.
Forget about it.
Brutal.
And now you got to face Garrett Cole and Zach Greinke, so it doesn't get that much easier.
Get easier. But when
slightly
Verlander's
easier,
on,
but not much.
Good night.
Then the Braves beat the Cardinals to even that series at 1 apiece.
Yep. Got to find a way tomorrow. Got to do something tomorrow to get that victory. The Rays. Drop back, nice fake. Again, setting up the screen. Number 13 had to come all the way back and just threw it too far ahead of him.
It was intended for JVN Toombs. That was a tunnel screen as he was coming towards the ball. And actually could have perhaps been a pretty good play if they would have been able to connect on it, but unable to do so.
I like the idea of that. I like those hard angles sometimes against a team like the Knots. And he really almost literally runs right back towards the quarterback with a slight angle, and it just poorly thrown ball again. Put under some pressure. Watkins still at least trying, throwing the ball, firing it out there. This time steps up, gets caught by the jersey, but stays on his feet. He's going to take off to the sideline, picks up some good yardage there on what was a broken play.
Watkins isn't very big, but he showed a little bit of power here by breaking this tackle. 96 is the Dreadnought, who had his hands on him. Ryshawn Glinton, the senior transfer from Kathleen, but could not make the tackle.
No question. I think the coach for the Eagles is fired up. He's going to go for it on a 4th down and 2. You got to take some chances. Down 8 at Bryant Stadium. 1:25 remaining first quarter. Let's see what he does. Still calling, trying to draw the defense off. That's not going to work. He's looking to his coach to see, you want me to really run this thing, or? He's calling timeout to talk it over. Probably a smart move. That's the first charge timeout for the Eagles in the first half. Let's go ahead and take a timeout with the Knots leading 8-0 here at Bryant Stadium on homecoming night. We'll be right back.
One of the most important things that we do is actually sit down and take the time to have a good understanding,
of Southport Avenue and Lake Miriam Drive.
and to help them either secure another piece of property. Whenever our customers are successful, we feel successful as well. And just being able to share in that process is a great experience, and that's why we do what we do.
Center State Bank, one of our fine sponsors here on the webcast. As you can see the huddle of the Lakeland Dreadnaught team. Coaches doing their thing, coaching the young kids. Never stop coaching. A lot of opportunities to mold these young minds in a good, positive way, and these Lakeland High School coaches do a great job. We love to hear as many other players and alum come back, even on this homecoming weekend, telling stories about how their experience here at Lakeland High School playing football shaped them to be fine young men out in society, and all plays a part. Dreadnaught D trying to hold on a 4th and 2. The Eagles trying to keep this drive alive and put some points on the board for themselves. It's going to be a pooch punt. Nice idea. I like the quarterback takes a step back and pooches it, and it doesn't give the Dreadnaughts the ability to return it, and it pins them at the 2-yard line. Fantastic call by the coach. Well thought out. On several measures, that's a smart play. Again, it doesn't warn the Knots so they don't have any return, which, as you can see, is a huge weapon. And because no one's expecting a pooch punt like that, it can just dribble as far as the ball will go and perfectly executed. Now the Knots have not perfectly executed a drive on offense. They've had 2 tries at it in the first quarter thus far, and both were wonky, to say the least. Not your typical Dreadnought drive, but a chance here to go 98 yards and put some points on the board. Garnett under a tight eye in the end zone, and Bowman, no, that's not Bowman, I think that's Martin, who breaks out and barely gains a yard or 2. Bowman actually ran over to the sideline with Garnett. That was Jakari Martin, who's perhaps kind of the interior power runner, if you could say that. Bowman's got power, but they use Martin in those must-get few-yard situations, just trying to give the Knot offense some breathing room, and gave him a yard and a half. 38 seconds left in the first quarter. The Knots only score coming on a Finley Graham 95-yard punt return, along with a 2-point conversion by Smith. And drop back, Garnett fires man-to-man coverage, has a man out there just off the fingertips. Oh my goodness, that could have been a highlight for sure. The 40-yard line. Arian Smith.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
Can't believe I'm about to say this. Arian Smith needed to kick in that extra gear. I think he thought he had it, was just watching the ball. Just bounced off the fingertips. Literally, if he hadn't clipped the fingernails, he might have got it. He needed some extendo nails. Beautiful pass. Strong drop back for Garnett. Planted his feet and just fired it down 40 yards. A near miss. Which now pins him down to a 2nd and 9. Actually, I think it's a 3rd down. They have it marked as 2nd down. Handoff to Bowman, who gets spun around, and Bowman just not getting space. And I tell you what, the Eagles, you got to give them credit for wrapping up Bowman. They're going low, which is how you have to tackle him. And they are not allowing him to get into his next gear, and he's frustrated a little bit. Coach Castle's going to call him over. He's a competitor, so he's not going to be happy unless he's putting some big numbers on you, and he's just not doing it right now tonight so far. 4th down and 2. What do you do? You're pretty deep, so you're going to punt this ball away.
That is the end of the first quarter with the score: the Lakeland Dreadnaughts 8.
First quarter
Centenial Eagles 0.
will come to an end on that 4th and 2 with the Dreadnaughts leading 8-0 against the Centennial Eagles here at homecoming night.
Now time for the Dreadnought
We'll
Wave.
keep it here for the Dreadnought Wave as we ask the Dreadnought fans to stand up and turn their attention to the 6th floor of Lakeland Regional Health. And you can see all the cell phones waving there. Boy, there's a nice group of young people and workers up there. Up at the pediatric unit, they are looking forward to us taking the time just to wave and acknowledge those kids and all that they're going through. Such a privilege and opportunity just to say hello, really. We're thinking of you.
Well wishes from our Dreadnought family to you.
Fantastic. Well, this time last week, the Knots had 31 more points on the board already than they have now. Different team, of course, different night. That's why you got to show up every night. And how about this, Dreadnought fans? At the end of the first quarter, not one offensive score. Defense still holding, but I'd say on offense, the Eagles probably have double the yards the Naughts do. Makes you go, And it is homecoming night here, October 4th, Bryant Stadium. Next week we will be away, starting that 3-game district run. And on 4th and 2, Garnett always has the chance as the punter to turn a play on, but I think he's just going to punt it away here. And he does. Nice high kick. Caught it about the 46-yard line. Nice move by number 23, who dances his way into Dreadnought territory just past the 45.
Rod Hurley on the punt return.
So the best starting field position for the Eagles at the 44.
44-yard line.
Hint of momentum for the Eagles on that last drive. They made a couple things happen. Some of it sparked by that 15-yard personal foul. But they're making the Dreadnought defense work a little bit. They're spreading them around. With that, the Dreadnought D should have had at least one turnover by now with the many opportunities that came their way. But hadn't happened. Watkins, 4 yards deep, gets the ball, handoff, right side, big hole. Number 23 off to the races, tries to cut back on the turf and drops himself. That's one of those turf tackles at the 27. The turf monster, he comes up and just grabs you and pulls you down before you know it.
Play gain 19 yards.
You can see kind of a nice delayed handoff, 19-yard pickup by number 23 as he just gets past the defensive line, tries to make a hard cut right there and just slides down right in front of the Dreadnought tackler, but good positive yards. Their deepest penetration of the night as number 23 tries to get to the outside, dives forward. Number 7 makes a nice tackle. Sean Smith, who slows him down. But the sophomore Huntley, 5'10", 155 pounds, still gained 3 yards on the play. But maybe because there was a holding on the Eagles, and that'll come back. I think he got the varsity and the JV cheerleaders. There's a whole ton of them down there on that north end zone side. They form a football squad themselves down there. So it is still first down, but first and 15 after the holding call. Watkins takes 2 steps looking for that crossing pattern in the middle. Number 13 just waited on him. Toombs again. He hesitated. Toombs was actually covered. And then he just waited a moment, and the defender kind of moved off Toombs, so he fired it over there, and just number 13 unable to bring it in. Not a horrible throw. He probably should have had it. Definitely been some missed throws by Watkins, but he's also made some good throws that his receivers should have had. Let's keep the momentum and drives going. 10:58, second quarter. A lot of passing, so this game is being stopped a lot as well as the penalties. Second and 15. Dreadnought showing blitz. Now they back off. Q Hall. See if that's a delay of game. Took a long time. And it is. Delay of game, 5 yards. Won't help their cause. Second and 15 turns into second 20.
Tonight's sponsor of the game is Mid-State Industrial Maintenance. Thank you.
Number 23, Rod Huntley, their star running back, is hobbling off. Limping a little bit. We'll see if that affects his play. They bring in number 24, Del Ribeiro, backup junior running back. Got that bowling ball physique, kind of low to the ground. He's going to stay back to block, getting flushed out of the pocket, now trying to turn his way, and that's not going to get it. Sacked. Big loss. 45 for the Dreadnaughts, coming in hard, applying all the pressure. Larry Jones really made that play and then got some help on the defensive front. They're going the wrong direction here. A couple penalties and a 13-yard sack. Brings 3rd down and 33 yards. It's easy, right? You got that in the playbook. Just pull up the old 3rd and 33 play. It's on page 656 of the manual. They're going to try it, though. Watkins is just going to hand off and up the middle, gets stuffed. Number 21 gets spun around. He's still fighting, but the whistles have blown. A scrappy run, though, man.
No gain on the play.
Robiero did not want to go down, but 4th down and 33 with no gain. I think it's a punt situation. What do you think? I've liked how the Eagles, though, have intelligently at least put some thought into their punting. They've, after the first one, which they thought they would have had Finley Graham deep and pinned him, he returned it. They've kicked it out of bounds and done a pooch punt, not giving the Knots a chance. This one, he tried to angle it to the right side. It's going to hit at around the 22 and take a hop backwards to the 30, where the Knots will have a try here. Their first of the second quarter.
First down and 10. Dreadnought fans, please join us in the film room on the LHS campus this Monday night.
We talked about it in pregame at 7 p.m. in the LHS film room. The highlight report with Coach Bill Castle, where you can meet area players and coaches, and also view tonight's game film. Not a lot of highlights. There's a couple. Obviously, the run back by Finley Graham, but hopefully going to make a few more here. Garnett nearly had one on that long pass attempt to Smith the last time, but Bowman has been relatively quiet. Bowman breaks a tackle there, and as I say that, spins around. Bowman down the sidelines with space. Bowman to the 30, 20. Look at that run. There we go. That's what we called. We just said, how about some highlights from Devo? Ding, ding. Dial it up. That's what we're talking about. Finally. DeMarcus Bowman needed that. He was one. He just said, I am not happy with what's going on tonight, so I'm just going to break a couple tackles, do a little jig, find some space, and then turn on my superpower jets. Shazam! Bowman. There we go. Thank you, DeMarcus. I was wondering if they had switched people in that uniform, but that's the one. Oh, that one looks just snuck in. It's close, but got it off the left side. So there's DeMarcus Bowman, a happy DeMarcus Bowman now with that fine run for a touchdown with 9:08 in the second quarter. We'll take a brief timeout and be right back with you. Stay with us.
Growing up in Florida, I've always enjoyed exploring the lakes, rivers, bays, and the Gulf. But when entering unfamiliar waters, I do best when guided by a local expert. No one knows the way like they do. Likewise, when you get hurt on the job, you may need help to navigate state and federal laws that protect you and your family. If you find yourself in unfamiliar or troubled waters, hire an expert guide. Hire Smith, Fedler & Smith.
What's up? Where's DeMarcus Bowman, you might say? Well, there he is, just taking a well-deserved little rest after running 70 yards or so in fine fashion down the sidelines, skirting tackles, breaking tackles. Little water swig. Huh. St. Thomas 39, Mandolin I think 16 in the third quarter. Marietta, Georgia 10, Edgewater 0. That's an interesting score. Halftime victory, Christian 13. Somebody prep 10. Victory Christian up 3 points. Matthew Word set for his kickoff after the touchdown by Bowman down to the 1. He's flirting with getting into the end zone. There's number 6 again, tries to push the receiver to the outside. Fumble, ball comes out. Ball still loose. 2-man scrum pile for it. Dreadnaughts may have it. Nope, they're saying the Eagles got it. That was tough. Somehow he's saying that the Eagles had it down, but the ball was still loose. That was a little bit of a gift call. As you saw there on the replay, that was. That's okay. I get it. So they say the Eagles recovered on the fumble. Nice hard hit to jar the ball loose at around the 30-yard line, but
The Eagles take over first down and 10 on their own 30.
2 players pounced on it, and they said that the Eagles dropped down, and when he had it down, they called him down. Eagles possession, 1st and 10. 8:56 remaining in the first half of play here before we have the homecoming festivities brought to you. And our fine sponsor, Mid-State Industrial Maintenance. Thank you so much to Mid-State. Calls for the ball. Handoff up the middle. Number 23 is back. There is a flag coming from the back judge. Usually indicates holding, and that is the call. Usually is the best vantage point to see that flagrant holding. Number 23 is their most productive runner. That's Huntley. He did hobble off 2 or 3 minutes ago, but has come back on. It didn't look like he was hampered there on that run, but it is brought back after the holding penalty. Back to the 20 it goes. Still first down and a heap. They like getting themselves, and they was a 3rd and 33, remember, on the last drive. They're moving that direction now. Not quite as desperate. Calls for the ball. Man goes in motion, looking to swing it out there. Fires it across. Beautiful pass. Right on the numbers to Chad Aronson. Aronson's the senior wide receiver who cut across the middle. They've been trying to connect on that all night and just hasn't been there, but that one was perfectly drilled right in his numbers. Hit the pads. And even after the nice gain, still 2nd down and 12. But got a big chunk back there. Watkins, obviously their offense is geared to fully run out of the shotgun with a spread offense. They keep a single set back. Boy, helmet just comes flying off number 23 that time. A stick. Cleotis Anglin took an angle all right. Dropped number 23. Still a 3-yard gain by Huntley, but he got hammered. Kapow. Hello. Saw that on the replay. Under 7:30 here in the first half. Scoreless Eagles trying to make something happen on a big play. They've dabbled into Dreadnought territory a few times, but just the Knots have stiffened. On a 3rd down and 8. Screen again, bobbled ball. Boy, he was going to get hen hunted too. He might be lucky he caught that. Didn't catch that rather. Q Hall was coming hard. I mean, he was rifling. And I think there would have been some definite helmet clashes there going on. So maybe the best for the Eagles not catching that ball. As you can, I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on this replay, but the quarterback Watkins drops back, tries to flip it out there. And then Q Hall just came right there. He is right there. Hello. I would have got you. Blackwood set again to punt. He's been active back there, an active leg. He's also the wide receiver and defensive back, one of their skilled people for sure. Coach is having some conversations. The ref's having some conversations here. Receiving team on the field. The usual suspects. Number 23 back there, Kendall Dennis. And one Finley Graham, who just likes toying with people. He really does. But always well thought out, I tell you. I mean, he just has a plan. When he gets the ball, he's already, I think, 2 or 3 steps ahead of the special teams defense. He's like, okay, I know here's where I am on the field. Here's the open part of the field. I'm going to run to that open part of the field where I know I'm a little bit faster than that next guy. He does that really well. See if he gets an opportunity here now, as we're not sure what the delay is, but Blackwood will take his position. And Dennis and Graham will await a possible attempt. They've been kicking it out of bounds, though. Some jump movement. We had a chance to block that one. That's a line drive to Dennis. And Dennis takes a couple moves, tries to get back to the outside. Finley Graham is going to block. He has a cutover, stiff arms, but dropped at the 35. Decent idea. Finley Graham actually blocked and got rolled up a little bit on his leg. He's okay, though. He popped up, thankfully. Decent return, as you can see, again, switching field. Dennis had a couple blockers there, but that Eagles player snuck in there, number 2, Jaquan Smith, and dropped him. 21, Reggie Kellum checks into the ball game. Bowman also in there. Garnett's got a stable full. Kellum's going to come near side to join Smith in the wide receiver position. 4 receivers split 2 each side. 3 yards deep. Fake handoff. Keeper, quarterback, Garnett with space. Garnett move. Makes a move. Speed. Stiff arm. Down to the 30. Garnett looking to run the quarterback. Can he get there? Touchdown, Garnett. How about that for an extra weapon in the backfield? You load them up. Who do I go? Reggie Kellum? Do I block Reggie? Do I get Bowman? Guess what? Garnett can run. Why don't I just let him take off? Well-designed play, executed perfectly. Late flag, though, for maybe some celebration. We'll take it. Garnett, the quarterback, the senior. Boy, if in fact the Auburn coach is in attendance tonight, he is going to be happy to see that. That will bring a big old fat juicy smile to his face.
We encourage you to please visit the concession stand and support your LHS.
He already put that in the playbook up there at Auburn. He said, okay, wait a minute. Load the backfield with some running backs and then run a delayed little draw quarterback keeper straight up the middle.
Lakeland High School would like to say happy birthday to longtime booster Marvin Fellows, his 75th birthday. Happy birthday, Marvin.
Announcing one of the Dreadnaught fans' birthdays. I think now, oops, that is going to be a bad snap, and Smith is going to get dropped. They're going to say he's down back at the 20.
The point after is no good.
He couldn't get that speed going, so no good on the extra point. Again, a danger, whether this, Jeff made a good point earlier, is that extra point just a bad snap, or are they literally running that play each time to let Smith try to get 2 points? The danger can be if you don't get a pattern of kicking extra points and getting that rhythm, it's not automatic, and it can get off balance so that you're missing extra points too. So you go one way or the other, but it's important to maybe keep some rhythm on those extra points in addition to having a 2-point play. But we're not sure if that's, again, just bad snap or Aaron's just taking it saying, I think I can score each time. Maybe he has that discretion from the coach. That'd be a good question for Coach. Well, after the score by Garnett in unsportsmanlike conduct, as we said, flag after the score. So they tacked that. Ooh, Steinbrenner's beating Plant 27-0. That's kind of a shocking score. Auburndale 15, Winter Haven 8 in the second quarter. Word's got a kick from the 25.
Plant City 0.
Plant City's got a good ball club, but they're running into Armwood tonight, down 14-0 in the second quarter. Armwood's got a good team again this year. We saw Plant City earlier in the year. Not a bad team. So the receivers come all the way up to the 20. They've looked at film. Matthew doesn't have the strongest leg. At his best, he can barely get it into the end zone, but he's going to boot a line driver and right into the hands of number 23. They may have the reverse on, fake reverse this time, set up by the earlier first play. And no one really fooled on that. Number 23 keeps it. That is their running back, Rod Huntley, as he is able to bring it out. It's decent field position to start off for the Eagles, but they're in a big hole now, down 21-0. With 6:46 left here in the first half.
The Eagles take over first down and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
So as we just kind of said, what's with the lack of highlights, and man, those people that come to the Coach Bill Castle report aren't going to get to see much. And then boom, Bowman hits a big one, dances down. Garnett hits a big one. Definitely both highlight reel worthy.
Sometimes when your offenses can't get going on sustained drives, you just need to get some big plays from your playmakers.
I think you just need to go to the bathroom every so often and get some big plays in. Number 11, that's a nice pitch and catch there. He's caught a few good ones tonight. Chad Aronson.
To Chad Arneson.
So a few capable players on the Eagle side. Aronson stepped up. They got that number 23 again.
Eagles first down.
Nice
Eagles
looking
first down.
pass there by the Eagles.
Was good looking pass.
Hit him right in stride.
Watkins calls for the ball. Nice snap. Handoff, 23. So that's a different player. He's got a little more beef to him. C.J. Roberts, number 26.
Got some nice size, as you mentioned.
Sophomore.
Sean
Compact.
Smith with the tackle for the Dreadnaughts.
6 yards brings up second down and 4.
So I was saying, Jeff, if the Auburn coach is here, he had a pretty big smile on his face after that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Garnett. I said he already added that to the playbook.
And of course, Gus, he likes those running quarterbacks. So Garnett's right up his alley.
Again, number 26.
But Garnett might not be playing for a while at Auburn. They got that true freshman, Bo Nix, looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
Tackled by Franz Gene Charles.
He could at least fight for that position for sure. C.J. Roberts, 6-yard gain. That is an Eagles first down, so they're moving the chains again as the Dreadnaughts call timeout with 6:05. That'll give us a chance. Let's take a brief timeout as well. This is the second quarter water break, so we'll be back in just a short while. Stay with us.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. Don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Some of the best names, business names in Lakeland, Regal Lakeland, one of them here, our sponsor again, to join the host of those that just realize that being a part of the Lakeland community is supporting your local teams, and it's great to have such good sponsors.
They announced this week that Dabo Sweeney, the coach of the defending national champion Clemson Tigers, will be the guest speaker at the Dreadnought Banquet in February the 13th. So get your tickets.
Cool.
Soon, so you can hear Coach Dabo Sweeney speak at the Lakeland Banquet.
That's big. I'll be there.
Yeah, that'd be
Lord
great.
willing.
He's a great coach.
He is a great coach. Great character.
Yep, great man.
Number 3, different quarterback in there.
Blaine Watkins passes.
Oh, no, that's Blaine again still. He just fired his sidearm.
Watkins,
Threw it differently. He threw his sidearm. I was like, wait a minute. That didn't look like
Intended for JV
Blaine, but
brings up second down and 10.
That got there, but it's a little bit low. I mean, he should have caught it, but he wouldn't have gotten very far, so it might have been better. It was incomplete. It actually may have lost a yard. But still, it should have been caught, no doubt.
I actually like some of the play calls that the Eagles are putting out there. They're just having a rough time against the defense, but
second and 10.
They're setting a few things up. It's just not going their way. The Dreadnought defense has kind of snuffed them out. Watkins drops back deep this time, fires it wide open across the middle. That's what we talked about. That should have been a touchdown.
That one was on Watkins. That was behind Blackwood.
Yeah, I agree with you, but he still should have had it.
Let's see if we can see a replay of that. If it hits him in stride,
Blackwood's, yeah, but
that's the touchdown.
Oh,
it was behind the big time. He had to turn
him.
around, yeah. If he hits him, that's a walk-in touchdown. So kind of a busted coverage there for the Dreadnought secondary.
I mean, there were orange jerseys left, orange jerseys right, none between the hash marks in the middle. That was Watkins' chance he had to put some points on the board in a hurry, still here in the first half. Now 3rd and long again. Good idea moving around. Q Hall getting back on it. Short pass play. They may have now Blackwood looking for some interference call, but they're not going to get it.
Watkins' pass is incomplete, intended for T1 Blackwood.
That's your boy Christian again.
Yeah, he's all over tonight.
For the Dreadnoughts, as he read that wide receiver screen, and he was on his hip pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And if that had been a better throw, it could have been an interception. Just great job tonight by Christian, providing some excellent coverage.
Hard to believe he has not got one tonight, an interception that is. Still with a full half to play, he may get one before the night's over. Timeout Eagles.
That is their second charge.
With 5:32. We'll keep it here for this one.
Yeah, I don't see Gus Malzahn down there at all.
I was going to say, man, is it even possible to get him up here for halftime? That'd be quite a neat little interview.
I don't know if
I don't even know if they're allowed to do that or not. Or
I mean, a couple weeks ago, there was an assistant coach for Tennessee that came down to watch Lakeland play when Tennessee was in Gainesville play the Gators. A little bit of a difference between an assistant coach coming down to watch versus the head coach. Mm-hmm. I would actually be a little surprised if he ends up being here. But you never know. You never know.
Hey, sometimes those coaches like to sit back and just watch a football game. They obviously love the game. They love.
Please come out and support the Dreadnought marching band.
Football. The Dreadnoughts, of course, are one of the teams you'd want to watch if you have the opportunity to. If you've never seen them live, you may or may have not have. Or you can just tune in on the webcast and watch.
Yep.
We appreciate all of you that have tuned in, that are catching us live tonight on homecoming night. Jeff's got his phone in hand, so if any of you friends of Jeff Goddard want to comment or throw something our way, we'd be sure to.
Wonder if the Madden cousins are watching up at West Point tonight.
All right.
If so, give us a shout out. Give us a text and we'll give you a shout out.
Illegal substitution against the Dreadnoughts.
Dreadnoughts tried to sneak someone in there. They say illegally.
Brings up 4th down and 5.
So 4th down and 5 now for the Eagles. And they're going to switch things up and go for it, I think. Offense comes back on.
Rolling the dice, Mr. Conti, rolling the dice.
I'd do it. Do it.
Can they roll a big number here?
BW, Blaine Watkins, the shotgun maker, has a single set back with him. He is 4 yards deep, as is the norm for him. Low snap, but rolls out right side, looking to get a block. Escapes the runner, now pressure, sacked! Woo! Big number 19 comes just flying in there. I thought he was going to get past Cleotis Anglin, but Cleotis said, nope. As you can see on the
replay. That was a great job of pursuit by Anglin here.
So Watkins looked like he had a step, but just the speed
did not give
of
up
Anglin
and kept
just
with
dropped him.
Yeah, I thought
sack.
Watkins was going to be able to, get by him and, at least get the pass off, but just a great job by Anglin. Nice pursuit there. No doubt about that.
TOOD takes
senior
over
defensive
on
end.
downs for the Knots. It's a toad. Take over on downs. So the Knot offense rolling a little bit with some big plays here the last couple times. Let's see if they get some more here. Another chance for one at the 45-yard line, our own 45. Garnett hands off Bowman, shaking and baking. Nice low tackle. Again, that's how you get them. Ankle them. Ankle drop them. That's how you got to do it.
Excellent with the excellent tackle there for the Eagles. Yeah, I don't think I've ever met anybody or seen anybody the last name of Excellent before.
Yeah. Number 54, Excellent, gave him a look like, I know you're good, but I got you that time. I got the best of you.
I'm surprised his parents didn't name him Awesome. Or
Awesome, excellent.
Magnificent.
That would have been beautiful. Just throw the
Would have been amazing.
pile the adjectives on each other. Double stack them. Drop back Garnett. Has some space. Now pressure. He's going to be dropped. There's 4 or 5 guys. Oh, that was a little bit of a
That should have been a roughing the passer there.
That was a late hit to the head. That should have been called probably. He's kind of in an unfortunate position sitting up, and one of the Eagles just teed off on him with his full weight. He's okay. 9-yard loss, though. Garnett held it just too long, and it looked like the offensive line just said, come on through, boys. Just my quarterback's going to throw it anyway. So
3rd and 19 now, so let's see what play Coach Castle dials up here. Interesting night tonight. No sustained drives by the offense at all. 3 big plays, 2 by the offense and 1 on special teams, have led to this 21-0 lead for the Dreadnaughts with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
3 yards deep. Garnett just gets a snap away, looking deep downfield. Going to fire it. And good coverage.
Pretty good pass. It was
decent.
Give him a chance to make the catch, but yeah, just great coverage by Centennial.
Yeah, that's their running back, Huntley, actually, who's one of their fastest players. So, again, he plays both ways. Very good, skilled player. Perfect defense, really. Nice idea, good try, but man-to-man coverage didn't work for him that time. Dreadnaughts will punt it away. Garnett stays on.
3rd and 19, might as well take a chance downfield. Maybe also good pass interference if you aren't able to complete the pass. But as you said, great coverage by the Eagles on that play.
I think the Eagles punt returner needs to drop back a little bit. He's doing that now, or else he was going to be in for a spool. That's a
high one, but it didn't go
toe.
very far. He might be hurt too. He got nailed. Actually, a little bit of a bounce. Dreadnaughts went down at the 45-yard line, so that's only going to be a 19-yard punt.
I guess that's the danger of having your quarterback back there punting, is someone could take a free shot at him, even if he gets a penalty.
He definitely took a shot. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, it's upper.
Took his thigh. He
was grabbing his thigh, but then he just went down to the knee, so that's a dangerous spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure why there wasn't a penalty on that. And so Lakeland Coach Baylor's out there asking, where's the flag on that?
Well, he's taking a beating now. He took a shot here in the last
I don't know if you can
series.
see a replay on that or not to kind of see exactly where he got hit, but it looks like he's grabbing his upper part of his right leg.
Tried to rush to get the punt away, saw some pressure coming, and just kicked the sky ball and got hit in the process, paid for it, so nothing working there as Watkins going to throw it deep to Blackwood, who has it. What a nice catch. An adjustment made by Blackwood at the 20 to come back over his shoulder, and he caught it.
Watkins just kind of laid it up there. And as you said, Blackwood had to make an adjustment in the last minute. But after he's had a couple of drops tonight, Blackwood makes a great catch on that post pattern right down the seam there.
The ball had to go blind on Blackwood for a moment, but he turned back just in time and caught it over his shoulder. Also made a good body adjustment, as we said. Now some things in business. Watkins, 26, handoff, right side, spun around, drop. No gain on that play. C.J. Roberts. Dreadnought D trying to keep the Eagles scoreless here in the first half. 3:15 left.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
I mean, we've got some points on the board, some good plays, as Jeff said, good scores, but we have not had any good momentum, not any sustained drives by the offense.
The defense has been on the field a lot in the first half.
For sure. 2nd down and 10.
This is Centennial's best chance to score so far. It's
Eagles
inside
drop
the red
back,
zone.
spread field, has a man. Threw it again off the wrong shoulder. Good try to get it to the outside, keeping it away from the defender.
Yeah, it's
but
kind
he
of
threw
like a
it
back shoulder fade, but just too far.
Too far to the outside. Good idea. 3rd and a decade to go, 3rd and 10. Pretty nice crowd here tonight, homecoming night. Crowd coming out to see the Dreadnaughts play, some halftime activities.
All right, 2:48 to go. Here's the 3rd and 10 play. A little screen out to the
Huntley in
flat.
motion. He did bad to stop. I don't know why he stopped his momentum.
He lost about 4 yards. So now it's 3rd and about 4th and about 14. So do you kick a field goal to get on the board, or do you go for it here? Decision time for Coach
Depends
Watkins.
what kind of kicker you got.
Centennial. If you notice, your head coach, Tim, is Josh Watkins. I wonder if he might be the dad or older brother of the quarterback, Blaine Watkins. I would imagine a good chance it's the dad.
It looks like they've got Blaine Watkins staying in the ball game to try to
they're
pick this
definitely
up.
going for it.
Plenty of time in the first half
They
left.
can't get a
so
first down. They don't have to get a touchdown.
they're
But
not
the
gonna
5-yard line, they
even-
can get a first down.
Watkins looking. Goes left side, still firing to the back of the end zone. Well covered and knocked down by the Dreadnaughts.
That play looked a little bit like as he scrambled to his left, now they throw it back against his body. A little bit reminiscent of the play that Russell Wilson made. Did you see that play last night? Unbelievable.
It was
Probably
crazy.
the catch of the year. Great throw by Russell Wilson. Probably even a better catch by Tyler Lockett. The Seahawks win over the Rams last night on Thursday Night Football.
Well, they got a little lucky there with a missed field goal
Yeah,
at
the
the
Rams should have won that, no doubt.
end of the game. But yeah, everyone on that pass play, even the announcers were talking how they all thought he was just throwing it away, and then somehow perfect spot, touchdown.
Russell Wilson, kind of has a little bit of that almost magical type of ability to make plays out of nothing. I mean, there's very few quarterbacks that have that kind of ability, Just scramble, stay alive, make plays with his feet, improvise, and make throws of that. Just special talent.
Now he's talking
Russell
about
Wilson.
his size being a detriment, but
Who cares
has not,
how tall he
it does
is or
not
short
been
he is.
for the way he plays and that factor that you said, the X factor, so to speak. Reggie Kellum, it looks like Reggie Kellum. No, yeah, it is Reggie.
Number 21, Reggie Kellum.
Tell by his style. I couldn't see the number, but I could tell by the way he was running.
19-yard gain
It's a
by
good
Kellum.
one. Yep.
Play gain 19 yards. It results in an FHS Stores.
As you see there, Kellum does a good job of being patient and following his lead blocker.
He just waited on him. Always that idea if you're a running back to outrun your blocking, but that's usually a bad idea unless you see completely clear space open. That was just patient running, as Jeff said. First down.
2:10 to go here in the second quarter.
Hand off again on the sweep.
Reggie Kellum on the carry.
That's Kellum again. He gets about 10 yards. It should be enough for another Dreadnought first down and a flag.
Late flag.
Flag after the flag.
Some more extracurricular activities, as you alluded to earlier, Tim.
This is the Reggie Kellum part of the show.
Penalty is unsportsmanlike conduct against the Eagles.
Right in front of the bench of the Knots. Not the best place to do any kind of shenanigans.
No, not smart, as Lakeland would love to get no score before halftime. 2:03 to go. So plenty of time as they now have 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's a boatload, literally, of time for the Knots.
A Dreadnought load?
A Dreadnought boatload. That's what we're saying. Yep. Of course, when you have that firepower back there, this time actually looks like Jakari Martin's back there, number 5, so just keeping fresh legs in. Bowman's off to the left in the blocking back position, and Reggie Kellum's in there also. You got all of them in there. They hand off to Martin.
Jakari Martin on the carry.
Had a little misdirection there, but it didn't really fool Centennial. Deuce Dunbar, nice name there.
Yes.
The Eagles defender makes the tackle.
Sounds like a wrestling name or old something.
Play gain 2 yards, brings up 2nd down and 8.
2nd down and 8. That is one of the questions, though, when you have that kind of running back core in there. Kellum, Bowman, and Jakari Martin. Who in the world do you key on? They picked the right one that time. Is Garnett 3 yards deep, fakes the handoff to Bowman, keeps himself, follows his blockers nicely. He picks up about 5 yards.
Be 3rd and short. Maybe 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4.
Tackled by Deshaun Allen.
Tim, I have to say, I like these uniforms that the Eagles are wearing. Nice red, and then you go with their white jersey, kind of pops off.
Play gain 6 yards, brings up 3rd down.
They look like very similar uniforms. I think one of those schools in Louisiana, I think like Louisiana Lafayette, I think they're red and white. Even their logo, I think, is a little bit similar.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a Cardinal, but nope. It's an Eagle.
Oh, 51 seconds to go as Lakeland calls timeout. Actually, 50 seconds.
That is their first charge timeout.
So just the first timeout. They still have 2 more to go. So if they can get a first down here, they will have about, 45 seconds to go and 2 timeouts. So They definitely have a chance here. We'll see. They're not getting in the end zone. They might have let their kicker Ward attempt a field goal. We'll see. Once again, we want to thank Mid-State for sponsoring the game tonight.
You got any halftime hijinks going, or just?
I'm not sure. It's going to be a surprise tonight.
Whatever we find.
It's going to be a surprise tonight.
Surprise to you too. whatever you can find.
I think Fred Lopez might be coming up to talk with you. Have you talked to him tonight?
I told him he's welcome. He's always welcome. I told him to come on.
I think
up.
he might be coming up to do a segment with you.
He can talk. I'm taking a little walk. I'm gonna stretch the legs, but I'll get back in the. It's extended halftime.
That could be the
anyways.
second half. Oh yeah. Well, actually, we'll be watching homecoming tonight, so we'll definitely do that. Watch the festivities. See who gets crowned king and queen for 2019.
Third and a short 2. Power package in and.
Flag off of a timeout. That's not good.
Yeah, and Bowman's skipping because
There's
he knew.
offsides though against the Eagles. So that's gonna be a first down for the Knots.
Bowman doesn't care. He wanted to run that one. He had a great block on the left side, which he was wide open. I mean, there was going to be no one to even touch him.
Another FHS overhead doors Dreadnaught first down.
Ooh,
That might be an example of where the Eagles are glad they were offsides.
First down, sponsored by FHS Overhead Doors. Look at that. Hopefully they should get a lot of calls.
FHS first down.
There's Bowman. There he is.
Touchdown,
Looks back. Nobody going to get him. Touchdown. Taunting.
Taunting, no doubt about it. Yeah, it took the ref a second to find the flag in his pocket.
He was waiting. He's like, yeah, he's doing it. Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. That was definitely taunting.
Oh, they got to clean that up though. When you get deep like that, you just
get deep
can't.
in the playoffs, you can't have stuff like that.
You know, as you took a break for a moment there, same thing happened on the extra point. Smith took it, picked up, and just tried to run with it, and it brought up the same conversation you had. Is that intentional? Does he have discretion to do that? But you don't want to do it too much. Again, you get Matthew Word with the yips. You don't know if he's in any kind of rhythm. You want a good solid just snap and kick. There's a good snap, hold. Looks like it's through. Good kick there. So
yeah, but it's kind of just him. I think most of the times he's ran, it has looked like the snap has not been good. But it has happened with so much regularity the past couple weeks, it makes you wonder if they're doing that on purpose or not. But I do think they are bad snaps for the most part.
Well, that was a good one. We'll keep it here with just 44 seconds left in the first half. So DeMarcus racking up the yards now. He was a little lackluster in the first quarter, but he's probably well over the 100-yard mark now with that 20-some yarder plus the 70-yarder.
That was an easy touchdown run, too. Great job by the offensive line blocking as Bowman hit the hole and bounced out to the left and had smooth sailing into the end zone. You see some of the Lakeland coaches, their coach Baylor, one of the other assistant coaches, talking to the ref. They may have been, I'm not sure, they were arguing the taunting call. To me, that was a pretty much a no-brainer. So I'd imagine there's a good chance maybe they were talking about something else.
Other action this evening at halftime.
And some more scores.
17,
Halftime score.
14.
Lake Gibson 17, Hardy 14, I think I heard.
Close game for the Braves.
Steinbrenner 42, Plant 0.
Ooh, another
Plant
halftime score.
is completely
Steinbrenner's
fallen off
whooping
the
Plant
wagon this
32-0.
Yeah, 42-0.
42. Holy cow.
Yeah, they're really struggling, Plant. And I guess you heard about their coach got fined and all the big controversy. You heard about that?
Yeah.
They said for paying a player, he says I guess he was helping a homeless player, get housing. So definitely some controversy with that situation. Armwood shutting out Plant City, which is not a surprise, as Armwood is a very good team this year. That's a team we could play in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. They have an excellent team.
They used to be a class below us, but now they're the same class as Lakeland.
A good discussion, Jeff, that I know it's a highly contested discussion about paying college athletes. That's kind of come back to the forefront. Some states are passing some laws for college athletes to be able to use their name in certain ways to profit in certain areas. And that, that's hard when it doesn't get passed equally across the board, or it's not nationally. Then it's going to influence how kids and where they go to school and what they expect.
That's going to cause a major issue.
It is an interesting topic
I think you're
of
going to
discussion.
make it nationwide. I mean, I personally have a problem with it. I'm not necessarily in favor of colleges paying athletes because I do think, getting a scholarship and all they get their room and board is a pretty big deal. To me, it's a great opportunity. So I don't think they should necessarily pay, but I have no problem if a college player can use his likeness or whatever to make money. I think that should be perfectly fine. I have no problem with that at all.
Oh,
whoa.
Ouch.
Chad Aronson.
Chad Aronson just got popped.
Oh, number 11 got
Here you go, the replay right here.
Got the two tops of the ones
breaks
knocked
the
off.
tackle there. Perhaps he wishes he had.
And he was kind of falling forward and just boom.
Yeah, it doesn't look
Not
quite
as
as good as
horrible.
slow
Yeah,
motion
it wasn't
as
bad.
live, but nonetheless, they got him down pretty good there.
He thankfully kind of turned to his back a little bit and caught some shoulder pads on the backside. Not too bad. Eagles, let's see if they'll just kind of take a knee or dial it in here for the first half, down 28-0. It's been kind of a funky first half, a long first half. Number 24 is going to get a handoff straight off the left side of the line. Picks up a yard and a half. C.J. Roberts. They may get one more play in before the end of the half.
Sean Smith with another tackle. He's had a pretty good game for the Dreadnaughts tonight.
Play gain 2 yards. Brings up 2nd down and 8.
2nd down and 8, more than likely this will be the last play of
Big number 99, Gabriel Dindy, also helped
half.
on that tackle.
They're going to let time expire. Take it on in to the locker rooms, down 28-0. That'll do it. The end of the first half officially shows the Dreadnaughts 28, Centennial Eagles 0. The Dreadnought defense pitching another shutout. Of course, last week was a monumental one against the poor Strawberry Crest team, as they are setting up things for homecoming.
A little bit of an uneven first half for Lakeland, but nonetheless, a couple of big plays, and then a little bit of a sustained drive there on that last touchdown. And, of course, the first score of the game was a dynamic 95-yard punt return by Finley Graham, which is amazing. I mean, as good of a punt return as you'll ever see. And then, so all that adds up to a 28-0 Lakeland lead. If you didn't watch the first half, you'd see the score. Ho-hum, typical Lakeland first half, but Centennial made them work for everything they got. But nonetheless, Lakeland in familiar position, up 28 at the half.
So they're getting some flowers out, getting some things ready. The color guard is going to line up to make a little runway, I think, for the homecoming. The cheerleaders are out there placing something on the field, but they're just getting a few things ready for this little bit of a homecoming show, as the Dreadnaughts, you can see, take it into the locker room on the east side of the stadium.
Always a special time for these students and all the student athletes and all the students at Lakeland homecoming. Big deal. See who the king and queen will be. Usually there's always a couple football players who are nominated as part of the court.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting tonight to see who that is. So we'll go ahead and take a commercial break, and then we'll be back with you with the homecoming festivities.
One of the most important things that we do is actually sit down and take the time to have a good understanding. Having a customer that maybe is opening another location and to help them either secure another piece of property. Whenever our customers are successful, we feel successful as well. And just being able to share in that process is a great experience, and that's why we do what we do.
Growing up in Florida, I've always enjoyed exploring the lakes, rivers, bays, and the Gulf. But when entering unfamiliar waters, I do best when guided by a local expert. No one knows the way like they do. Likewise, when you get hurt on the job, you may need help to navigate state and federal laws that protect you and your family. If you find yourself in unfamiliar or troubled waters, hire an expert guide. Hire Smith, Fedler, and Smith.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. It's beautiful. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
every customer that walks through our doors, they have hopes, dreams, plans that they want to execute in their lives, and we are a facilitator to help them accomplish those dreams. I think we should never lose sight of the fact that we are a trusted advisor to our clients, which allows us to really formulate a relationship with an entire family that spans generations, and it's frankly something that brings the most satisfaction to what we do every day.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Agnini Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agnini Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
Olivia Marlowe and Tyrell Jones. Olivia is the daughter of Rodney and Faith Marlowe. Olivia's on the varsity cheerleading team. She attends First Baptist Church at the Mall and is active in the church youth group. She also takes part in mission trips with her church. Tyrell Jones is the son of Latrice Jones. He's a member of the varsity football team and the LHS Leadership Contract. Tyrell also is a member of the 6th Street Church of Christ. Please put your hands together for Olivia Marlowe and Tyrell Jones, sponsored by Trinity. FFA is the sponsor of the next couple, Michaela Quick and Brett Odom. Michaela is the daughter of Aaron and Kathy Quinn. She is Vice President of FFA, Secretary of Leo Club, and a member of the National Honor Society. Michaela interns at the SPCA and volunteers at Special Olympics. Brett Odom is the son of Rebecca Odom and Wallace Stroud. He's a member of FFA, JROTC Raiders, and the varsity soccer team. He is in the delayed entry program for the U.S. Army. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Michaela Quick and Brett Odom, sponsored by the FFA. Next on the field are Amy Nugent and Cody Butler, sponsored by JROTC. Amy is the daughter of Coy Nugent and Lynn Train. She is in the JROTC and participates in weightlifting. Kobe is the son of Jeremy and Leandra Bennett. He is in JROTC and a member of the varsity cheerleading team. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Amy Nugent and Kobe Butler, sponsored by ROTC. Representing Lakeland Lacrosse are Caroline Chambers and Gavin Galino. Caroline is the daughter of Brian and Leslie Chambers. She's a member of National Honor Society, the captain of the LHS varsity volleyball team, and on the board of Knots for Kids. Caroline volunteers for Bisbee and the Needlework Guild and participates in club volleyball in Orlando. Gavin is the son of Tony and Jennifer Bellino. He's on the boys lacrosse team, a member of the Leo Club and the Leadership Project. Gavin works at Fort Paws only in the dog daycare. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Caroline Chambers and Gavin Bellino, sponsored by Lakeland Lacrosse. is pleased to sponsor Trinity Tagaka and Kobe Cruikshank. Trinity is the daughter of Angel Tagaka. She's a member of Leo and the soccer team. She also participates in club soccer. Kobe is the son of DJ and Aaron Cruikshank. He's a Leo Club Senate officer and a member of the leadership cadre. Kobe is currently employed by Chick-fil-A. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Trinity Tagaka and Kobe Cruikshank, sponsored by Leo. Tori Copeland and Mrs. Graham are representing the senior class. Tori is the daughter of Charles and Heather Copeland. She's on the varsity softball team and attends Highland Park Church, where she's active in the youth group. She volunteers with VISTI, the SPCA, and coaches young softball players. She's also in travel softball and will be attending Warner University in the fall. Finley is the son of Shambria Pigley. He is on the varsity football team, the varsity basketball team, the track team, and is a member of the leadership cadre. He volunteers in the pediatric unit of Lakeland Regional Health and recently assisted his coaches during the ladies' clinic. Also, Finley places importance on getting in a workout every day. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Tori Copeland and Finley Graham, sponsored by Senior Class. Student Council is the proud sponsor, Sarah Singleton and Rashawn Mayfield. Sarah is the daughter of Michael and Chris Milligan. She is the president of Student Council, a member of National Honor Society, and an LHS anchorette. Sarah works at Chick-fil-A and volunteers as a vet assistant and dances at UDC. Rashawn is the son of Shannon McGee. He is vice president of the senior class, a member of the student council, and the photography club. In his free time, he does lots of homework and enjoys photography. That's Sarah Singleton and Rashawn Mayfield, sponsored by Student Council. The final couple on the field is sponsored by weightlifting, Angel Chi and Pat Taylor. Angel is the daughter of James Chi and Amy Pan. She is in JROTC, on the girls' weightlifting team, the girls' lacrosse team, and is a manager for the basketball team. Angel also has a job at Wasabi. Pat is the son of Patrick and Lydia Taylor. He's a member of the LHS varsity basketball team and also plays on the AAU basketball team, TMAC. Recently, he was afforded the opportunity to travel to China to play in the China Athletic Amateur Union Basketball League. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Angel Chi and Patrick Taylor, sponsored by weightlifting. And once again, we have our 2019 homecoming candidates. From band, Hannah Smith and Haley Cheney. Deja McLeod and AJ Dent from basketball. From cheer, Olivia Marlowe and Tyrone Douglas. Michaela Quick and Brett Odom from FFA. From JROTC, Amy Nugent and Coach Butler. Caroline Chambers and Gavin Galino from lacrosse. From Leo, Trinity Tagata and Kobe Cruikshank. Tori Copeland and Finley Graham from senior class. From student council, Sarah Singleton and Rashawn Mayfield. And from weightlifting, Angel Chi and Pat Taylor. And now, it's the time we've all been waiting for. For third runner-up for homecoming team, the winner is Gavin Galino, sponsored by lacrosse. And the third runner-up for homecoming queen is Hannah Smith, sponsored by Bailey. The second runner-up for homecoming king is Finley Graham, sponsored by the senior class. And second runner-up for homecoming queen is Tori Copeland, sponsored by the senior class. The first runner-up for homecoming king is A.J. Dent, sponsored by basketball. And the first runner-up for homecoming queen is Angel King, sponsored by weightlifting. And now, Lakeland High School is proud to announce the 2019 homecoming king is Kobe Butler, sponsored by JROTC. Now we are pleased to announce our 2019 Lakeland High School homecoming queen, Deja McCall, sponsored by basketball. Congratulations, candidates. The LHS Student Council wishes to thank Principal Art Martinez, the administration, JROTC, teachers, and all of the staff members who worked so hard to make this year's homecoming a success. Thank you to all of our candidates.
pinpoint an exact moment that inspired its founding purpose. For Smith, Fedler, and Smith, it was 1942 when H. Guy Smith's uncle was paralyzed after a fall in a sawmill. He died 14 months later, leaving behind a family in need. The loss inspired Smith to found his law firm to fight for the rights of workers, the injured, and their families. To this day, Smith, Fedler, and Smith remains committed to his mission. Smith, Fedler, and Smith.
Whether they're adjusters or nurse case managers, let's be clear. They're still agents for an insurance company. You have rights when you're injured on the job. This includes your right to privacy with your doctor. Don't allow insurance agents to hijack your medical exams. You don't know if they're manipulating your doctor's recommendations, which can harm your case and put you at a disadvantage. Protect yourself and your family. Call us and stand up for your legal rights. Smith, Fedler, and Smith. Justice for all.
Agnini Family.
And down on the field. It's always good. Always need to just take a breath. And a lot of those clubs, organizations work hard here at Lakeland High School. And some getting recognized. Like that, the King coming from the junior ROTC. That was awesome.
Maybe a little bit of upset there.
Yeah. And then the Queen coming.
There's the second runner-up, Finley Graham.
Basketball team. There's a second number 2. He's following his number on his jersey. See, if he would have had Bowman's jersey, he would have been the winner, number 1.
Bowman would have won, yes. If he actually zero, number 0 would have won.
0. You need a 0.
DeMarcus would have been first runner-up.
First one.
So the band will perform after the game tonight, since halftime is taken up by homecoming.
I wanted to, a hard worker, tireless worker, one of those guys that does so much behind the scenes and doesn't get a lot of credit for. Paul Hallier's birthday is today. And so we want to just thank one of the ultimate Dreadnought fans. Played for Coach Castle on the football team. He told me it's his 25th birthday, so for the
maybe 25 times 2.
Yeah, 25th time.
Lakeland will get the ball to start the second half here. A touchdown extra point would make it a running clock, as they're currently up 28-0.
That's Smith trying to get to the outside and cut the corner. He's not going to get the corner, and he gets pushed out of bounds right there.
As you
at the
can
40.
really, even that play right there, you can just see how fast he is. I mean, he just, scooted away from the would-be tackler.
Another
there.
2 feet, and he would have been around that corner, and no
he
one
just
would
didn't
have
have enough of a
room
there to cut up field, but he's definitely got the speed, that's for sure. We haven't seen him really get too much action offense tonight. I'd like to see him maybe get a jet sweep or something along those lines. Watch him use his speed. And he reminds me of, speaking of Florida Auburn, their receiver Schwartz up at Anthony Schwartz at Auburn. That's from actually South Florida. Kind of a speedster. Plays wide receiver, but mainly gets balls on jet sweeps. That's kind of the weapon that Arian Smith is for Lakeland. But now he's lined up wide right. And the pass is out to him on a wide receiver screen. He's gone.
You might get your wish.
He's got
right
one
there.
guy to get by.
He cuts back inside.
And he is going to take it to the house. We were just saying we hadn't seen the ball very much in Arian Smith's hands.
There you go.
Not a jet sweep, but a wide receiver screen, well executed. And Arian Smith showed you his world-class speed. Made a nice cut back there and broke an arm tackle. And then at that point, that was all it took for Arian Smith to get into the end zone.
He just doesn't.
He finds Pater.
He doesn't look like he's trying even. He doesn't even look like he's giving it his full oomph. And he just glides.
He's a guy you could see in the Olympics at some point in the future.
Mm-hmm. It was neat to watch the
Maybe
track and field
2024?
world championships here over the past several days. I love watching
The
those
snap was
events.
high, but Arian Smith got it down that time, and the kick is up and good. So your new score, Lakeland 35, Centennial 0.
Maybe they gave a talking to Smith and said, hey, if it's even possible to get it down and give Word a chance to get the extra point through.
I've been told that Arian Smith, he's been recruited by and strongly considering Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma. But I've been told that there's another world-class sprinter athlete out of Texas. I forget his last name, starts with a B, but he's committed to go to Georgia to run track. He doesn't play football, just for track. And he is trying to persuade Arian Smith to join him at Georgia so they can run relays together.
Well, I tell you, that is a lot of people do it. Tennessee.
I think his last name is Bowling or something like that, but he's from Texas.
Tennessee in the past year, obviously their football program has gone down, but their track team is one of the tops in the world because they have exactly that. 2 or 3 guys all went together that are on the national team right now that have already won several gold medals in the world championships of the past few days. They all go to Tennessee. And
Georgia hasn't really been too much of a player in track until recently. The last few years, they've kind of come on strong. Want to give a shout out to Coach Baylor's parents, who actually were in town last week for the game, and I actually saw them after the game at Glory Days. Had a chance to talk with them for a little while, so I'm sure they're back up in the D.C. area watching tonight. So hope you guys had a nice time last weekend down visiting Will, and thanks for tuning in. Also, want to give a shout out to my parents, my mom and dad, and my brother Jason, and Robbie. I'm sure they're all watching tonight, as they normally do.
Muffed kick.
That's like an onside kick
by the Knots, and
you can't return it, but Lakeland is going to have the ball at the 15-yard line, as no one for the Eagles ever recovered it. So that's the longest onside kick in the history of football. That's, of all people, surprise, surprise, Finley Graham.
I don't think anyone ever touched Finley Graham either.
If you were allowed to return that, that would have been his second return for the night for a touchdown. First the punt and now that, but you cannot advance that, so they will.
Good idea.
Of course, if you receive an onside kick, of course you can return that, but not kicking. And technically that was an onside kick, but it basically serves this one. Of course, we have a running clock now, so the clock will not stop except for timeouts. 9:14 to go here in the third quarter.
So big plays coming fast and furious after the first quarter, which was a little lackluster for the Knots. Now 2nd and 18. Kellum trips and kind of runs right into number 8.
Big number 8 for
Deuce. So Deuce Dunbar.
We love Deuce.
Yeah. Just I want to call that name. One of my friends texted me and said he's taking it easy tonight because, of course, tomorrow that Florida-Auburn game is big.
Who's taking it easy?
One of my friends like say it's an easy night because tomorrow's a big day. It is a big day if you're Gator and up there for that's one of the.
Oh yeah, game day's gonna be there and
2 undefeated teams, right?
National TV, CBS. There's Garnett.
Garnett dancing his way near the 10-yard line.
I wonder if Finley Graham and Shale Garnett have any kind of friendly wager in the game tomorrow. One an Auburn commitment and one a Florida commitment.
Very interessante. 6-yard gain for Mr. Garnett, who decided to keep one himself earlier in the first half and ran
3rd
one.
and 3 here for the Dreadnaughts, as they're just outside the 10-yard line. So if they do get a first down this play, then it would be 1st and goal if they don't punch it in.
Definitely make up some time here with the running clock in the second half. That was a abnormally long first half. Power package.
Martin's in a quarterback.
Martin is in the quarterback.
He hands it to Martin. He's going to get down to the 6, so that would be enough for a first down.
Play is virtually impossible to stop. I mean, if you're a defense, you literally have to guess if you're the defense, and if you guess wrong, it's a touchdown. But
hard to stop that power.
Yep.
They're lined up in the jumbo package again.
Martin's still in it.
This time Martin gives it to
Kari Martin's going to easily score.
That's the law firm of Martin and Martin. Mason and Shakari.
It's a good combo.
Easy touchdown for the Dreadnaughts. They take advantage of that quote-unquote onside kick.
Yeah.
And your score is now 41-0. As you see the replay, Martin kind of pranced into the end zone fairly easily.
And that may be the last of Garnett that we see. Or Bowman.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mason Martin is already in the game. I don't think we'll see Garnett again tonight. Not especially with the score being 41, almost 42-0. Let's see if they can make this extra point.
That was well done.
Ever since that one in the first half, the long snapping has been on point here in the second half.
It's concerning me a little bit because I hadn't seen him just consecutively execute that. Now they've done it several times, so they're back on track there. 4 plays, 18 yards on the weird long onside kick. Tapped off by a Jakari Martin, 5-yard touchdown run. 42-0 is your score.
And that is also the third quarter water break.
Third. There you see Mid-State again. Did you get to talk about Agnini a little bit at halftime?
No, not yet. We want to thank Agnini Family Dental again for being our pregame and postgame show sponsor. They have 2 offices here in Lakeland to conveniently serve you, both one at the north office by Joker Marchant Stadium and the south office across from Southgate Shopping Center, iconic Southgate Shopping Center. They do a great job. Full dental service is offered, including orthodontics. Just do a fabulous job. If you are in the need for the market for a new dentist, I strongly encourage you to give the fine folks at Agnini Family Dental a call and tell them Jeff and the webcast sent you. You will not be disappointed, especially if you ever are growing up, maybe had a phobia of going to the dentist. It's a very relaxing experience, and it will put you at ease. Simply the best dental experience you can have here in Lakeland.
Matthew Word drives one down. He likes just sneaking it right inside that 5-yard line. He gives the chance for some run backs, but the special teams has been really good. Not giving up much more than the normal starting 20-yard field position.
Chris with the special teams tackle too, having a good game.
Yeah, he is.
But you're right, the special teams for Lakeland has been excellent tonight.
Yeah.
So he gets tackled quickly at the 20-yard line. Christian got him down quickly and didn't allow him to get any extra yardage. That's a big stat, yak yards. You think of yak as yards after catch an offense, but on defense, yards after contact. Like how good is your defense at limiting the yards after contact? It's a great tackle there by Christian on special teams.
The Eagles were actually surprisingly good in the first quarter at stopping our players and tackling them early, but then holes started opening up, and now they're not even touching some of our skilled players. That number 24 is scrappy. And with the speed, again, as we get some open space, they're just exploiting the Eagles.
Gerald Riviera just did a double spin.
Yeah, he did a double spin.
Only got a couple yards out of it. That was a nice play.
Oh, as soon as he handed off number 24 that time, just took a dive. Not the biggest running back, but you can tell he's got that super quickness. He's just got to kind of contain it and find a little hole and maybe hide under some big blockers. Watkins hadn't given up, though, man. He's been fighting, scrapping back there, trying everything he can. Handoff, screen pass. That's that same screen pass.
This time they executed it successfully. Number
Chad
11, Chad Arnson, the catch from Watkins. And that's going to be enough for a first down for the Eagles. So nice looking play there.
Yeah, it's one of their go-to plays.
And perfect passes that hit him right in the numbers and allowed him to keep that momentum.
Motoring in this third quarter with the running clock down to 3:30. Will the defense hold on to that second shutout in 2 consecutive weeks? Number 24. Ribeiro, the very shifty little runner.
Tackles had a good game.
We'll have to start thinking about players of the game and
I think we know who the special teams special teams play of the game is. That's a no-brainer.
There's not a super individual standout. Good team effort. Watkins falls forward. Oops, careful. Yeah, there's a flag. Extra push in there. Personal foul against the Dreadnaughts unnecessarily.
No reason for that, Tim. Got to show a little bit more restraint and discipline than that if you're Lakeland. As you see here on the replay, he was clearly down and just kind of gave him a little bit of extra push there while he's down already.
They called it as a face mask. Interesting. Didn't see that, but apparently in the melee mix part of it, grabbed the mask. Quick pop handoff. Defensive line wraps him up.
Terrence Sims on the carry. Tackled by
Terrence Sims, the senior running back, gets about 4 yards for the Eagles.
Brings up 2nd down and 6.
See the replay here?
Franz Jean Charles has had a good game tonight.
He's a solid player for Lakeland, having a good year for sure. We're down to 1:22 to go here in the third quarter.
Oh,
He
fantastic job.
gets
Is that Dindy?
Gabriel Dindy. That's called a stand-up tackle. He stood him up and drove him to the ground.
When he gets fired up, man, he just wants to say, hey, listen, I'm just going to have my way here on the line. He can do it. He's got that kind of talent. Pushing people around, driving
No doubt about
offensive linemen back. Just got to keep his intensity level up, and he's going to be an A-plus player for sure.
Yes, no doubt about that.
Under a minute now here in the third quarter. Watkins still 4 yards deep just about every snap, getting pressure.
There's
Again,
that
that's same
screen again.
screen. Number 16 is able to catch it and head back outside a little bit. And pick
The
up.
tunnel screen, that's a good play. I like that a
It
lot.
is a good play. It's been working, and it's one of the only things that's working for them. And as you said, those yards after the catch, that time performed nicely by number 16.
The thing
Zach.
I like about that tunnel screen, it allows the receiver to get his momentum going. So he's already got some speed built up when he catches the ball.
Yep.
A little bit more
Altamoro.
difficult pass to complete than just a normal screen, but great job there by the Eagles executing
Watkins,
it.
number 34. Big. Oh, number 7, Sean Smith just did a smackdown throwdown.
Sean Smith he might be leading us in tackles now. He's had a good game again for the Dreadnaughts. So your score at the end of the third quarter, Lakeland 42, Centenial 0. So you see the replay there of Sean Smith getting Sims down. And number 45 there helping a little bit as well, Larry Jones. Larry Jones, just a freshman for Lakeland.
This might be the most sustained little drive the Eagles have going. They're kind of keeping it moving. And
wow, Kathleen and Bartow in a tight game.
30-28. Kathleen edging Bartow right now.
Bloomingdale, who's probably our toughest game left in the regular season, they're up 19-7 over Tampa Bay Tech tonight. We play Bloomingdale in 2 weeks. That could decide the district championship. As a matter of fact, it probably will for the most part. Of course, we still have to play Kathleen the week after that, but whoever wins that game will definitely be in first place. When Lakeland plays Bloomingdale in 2 weeks over at Bloomingdale.
Auburndale winning 21-8.
Over the Blue Devils of Winter Haven.
I'm surprised. Boy, Plant City with no points on the board. So the Eagles trying to continue this drive and actually
tack
something up on the scoreboard here. And now into the fourth quarter. Handoff straight up the gut. Picks
Got
up
a few yards before he's tackled and kind of driven backwards by two Lakeland defenders, number 54 being one of them, Zay Yard. He made the initial tackle, and then 55 helping him as well, big Diamante Baldwin. 3rd and 4 here for the Eagles.
Continue to spread things out. 2 wide receivers each side. Straight up the middle again.
Draw play, and that's not going to fool Lakeland at all.
That time it was Frito.
Diamante Baldwin again, along with Q Hall helping him.
Frito Antone.
Providing some run support from his defensive back position. I think that was Hall helping Baldwin. Let's see here. Is that number 4? 55 and yeah, I think that's number 4. Yeah, I think Hall was assisting Baldwin there, but Baldwin made the big hit. 4th and 6 now as they lost a couple of yards there on 3rd down. I would imagine they're going to try to pass the ball here. The last couple of running plays have not netted much at all.
Yep, see if they go for that screen that's worked for them 5 or 6 times. That is the same play. And he break free this time.
Get a first down and maybe
Finley
a
Graham
touchdown.
on the chase.
Finley Graham gets him down inside the 5-yard line. There's your 1st and goal for the Eagles. There's Jalen Toombs, number 13, caught that ball from Watkins and was able to get inside the 20, then inside the 10, get an Eagles first down. 25-yard gain for Javion Toombs.
Couple nice blocks.
One of the best plays of the night. Yeah, good blocking.
Got something cooking. Watkins may get a payoff. Number 47. Oh, gets crushed. Fumble.
He fumbled, but Watkins recovered.
Right
Quarterback
there
was Johnny on the spot. Q Hall involved in the tackle along with Cleotis England for Lakeland. Good job there by Watkins being aware and falling on that ball. Otherwise, you had a Lakeland defender there, number 57, Willie Lampkin was ready to fall on it.
No time to think.
For Watkins.
Just react on those plays. They just practice drill after drill all season long. Timeout.
Timeout by the Eagles. So 9:34 to go in the 4th quarter, 42-0. The Eagles are threatening inside the 10. Actually, now it's outside the 10 after that fumble. But first, now 2nd and goal from the 11 for the Eagles. They're trying to avoid a shutout. So you see Coach Buldini there talking, imploring his Chargers to make a play here. As he wants a shutout. Don't think that Buldini does not want a shutout. He definitely does.
They're not quite there yet, but it will. We get to that critical 4th down, and they have the ability to just tack 3 on just for posterity, or do they go for it and try to score?
I mean, he's been pretty aggressive going for it, and I think he'll go for it. I thought you said we're going to get to that critical juncture in the game when the band plays horse.
that's
I thought that's what you were going to say, partner.
Important point, which they need to with a running clock. Sometimes they wait a little long. They haven't been the band hasn't been quite as active tonight. They've
of course the band
rested a little bit more.
The band will be performing after the game tonight as we had homecoming festivities at halftime.
So the fans that normally crash the field, that's a kind of a weird little pitch
that
sweep.
Actually counts as a pass play.
Yeah, forward pass.
Go for no gain to be 3rd and goal from the 11 now.
Dreadnaught player down. Looks like an elbow kind of shoulder got crunched.
Because now if he'd handed off to him, it'd been a running play, but because he kind of tossed it to him, it is considered a pass. You'll see that playing college some if you watch a lot of college football on Saturdays.
I think that's Denard Smith.
Basically just another form of a jet sweep.
No, not sure what number that is. Let's see. He's at 59.
Larry Jones just coming into the game to replace him. So you see Coach Buldini almost always has shorts on the sideline unless it's super cold, but I don't know if I've ever seen him in pants. I see he likes wearing those khaki shorts every game.
Hopefully just a stinger for, I think that's Dalton Shellhammer. No, that's not, yeah, it's 96. I'm sorry, Rayshon Glinton, the 12th grade defensive lineman who came off.
He's a very good player in the transfer from Kathleen. Having a good year for Lakeland. Hopefully he's okay. 3rd and 11, 3rd and goal from the 11. Watkins takes it from the shotgun, and he, on design run, breaks the tackle and gets down inside the 2-yard line. So it'll be 4th and goal now. I'm sure they'll go for it now, Tim.
Yeah,
4th and goal around the 2-yard line. Nice fake there by Watkins. He faked England there, kind of froze England, as England thought he might pitch it on the option play, but Watkins kept it and got down to the 2-yard line. 4th and goal now from the 2, so they will definitely go for it as Lakeland tries to keep the shutout intact.
See if they can stiffen up. I would just bring the house. I wouldn't even worry about those outside guys. I would just come after him. He's going to throw that corner route, and it'll be pass interference. The defender for Dreadnaughts didn't even look back.
You got to turn around.
Yeah, you got to turn around.
That was a little bit of a curious play call. I would have actually expected him to run it there maybe. But he throws a fade in the end zone, and that's Finley Graham, who does not. He kind of barely turned around in the last second, but a little bit too late. If he turned around maybe about a half a second sooner than that, I think that he would have avoided the flag. So unlike in college and professional, that would have been automatic first down. It's still 4th down, now 4th and goal from the 1 as there's half the distance to the goal line. Now let's see if they run the ball.
Big number 34 and Terrence Sims.
He fakes it to Sims and passes,
nice pass.
and it's a touchdown for the Eagles. Zach.
Just a slant route.
Murrow, the senior wide receiver, catches it, as you said, on the slant route. Nice pass there by Blaine Watkins.
It's one of those plays if executed decently, almost impossible to defend.
Yeah.
You just cut across, take the angle away from the defensive back, and fire it in there.
Big bodied guy. So Lakeland will not get a shutout for the second week in a row. We have this game well in hand as it's 42-6 halfway through this 4th quarter as we are waiting the PAT here for the Eagles. The lefty kicker here for the Centenial Eagles.
Oh, they're lucky that
Bad
the whistle.
Snap,
they're lucky the whistle blew.
Got blown dead.
That was a gift because that was a horrible snap. That was a worm burner snap.
I think on Lakeland. Let's see.
Is that Finley Graham around the corner trying to get the block?
Yep, offsides. We'll see if Centennial decides to go for the 2-point conversion or if they still kick it.
Looking back, they're just saying, go ahead and
based on the way that last snap went, I think I'd go for 2.
That was not good. There we go. There's Horse.
Tim's favorite song.
Whoa,
I told you.
One high, one low. See ya. Bye-bye. Nope. Buried. All right.
That was Mr. Cleotis England made the tackle there on special teams.
I think he made a little too much of an adjustment. He went low and then he went super high.
Yeah, he overcompensated.
16-yard touchdown pass to Zach Altamiro.
Good job there by England making the tackle as the kicker, Christian Baca-Rule, was not happy. I think he wanted to be able to get a kick up, but he was not able to as the snap was bad.
This will be a special night as we celebrate senior night. The Dreadnaught Marketplace will also return with all your.
So we only have one regular season home game left. That's in 3 weeks from tonight as Kathleen will be coming to Bryant Stadium. We'll have senior night that night, and we'll have Dreadnaught Marketplace here at Bryant Stadium as well. So next week at Durant, and then the big game at Bloomingdale on the 18th, and then the 25th back home here hosting Kathleen. Then we'll have our bye week, and then assuming we make the playoffs, we'll start the playoffs the following week, which would be Friday, November the 8th, if they'd have a bye week on the 1st.
That second season, we certainly hope that the Dreadnaughts are able to capture the district and get home field advantage, and we are here for at least a couple games during the playoffs. That would be nice.
Yeah, hopefully we will be.
Maybe
if we take care of business, we definitely will be.
Maybe even introduce some fall cooler weather would be great. There's the onside kick. Big hop.
Nice bounce there. And it's
still
like
on the
a hot
ground.
potato on the ground. They could have easily fielded that, but almost look at maybe they were a little nonchalant in trying to field it. But I do think they recover as you see this little bit unusual onside kick, but it was effective.
Dude.
So looks like we
lucky to get that one right between the legs.
He kind of trapped it with his feet there, his lower legs.
The Dreadnaughts will take over 1st down and 10 from their own 33-yard line.
Plenty of time. Let's just see how aggressive Coach Castle wants to get. Who comes in the ball game? Reggie Kellum's checking in as the running back.
Yeah, Bowman's definitely not going to be there.
Yeah, he's out.
4:24 to go here in the fourth quarter, running clock, so it's going to go by pretty quick. Normally, Mason Martin has his long hair flowing, but tonight he's got it pulled back in a ponytail.
See if they give Mason an opportunity to throw the ball. He has 3 wide receivers spread out there. You know he can do it. He does fake the handoff, and he's going to lob one long to Smith. Oh, my goodness, just outside.
He just needed to have a little bit more air underneath that, and Smith could have caught that for sure.
Yeah, he did. It was a little more, exactly, a little more of a line drive. He just needed a little more height on the ball. He got rid of it quick, too. He could have waited just a second and then put some air on it. I like the idea, though.
Yep. I agree with you. He could have been a little bit more patient with that pass.
I can see with Smith, though, wanting to get it out there in a hurry, though. He could outrun you pretty quick. Nice run, rumbling, stumbling, big man down to the 45, 46-yard line. First down carry. Ooh, Deuce gets the...
Zaire Davis looked very good last week. He's only a sophomore. He could be in line for a big increase in carries next year for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, Reggie Kellum's only a junior, so you have 2 good runners. Even though Bowman graduating, you have Kellum and Davis back next year for a good 1-2 punch at the tailback position. There's Davis again. He gets about 3 yards before he stood up, and he's a big boy. It's not easy to stand him up.
I was going to say, hits the hole pretty good for a big guy.
Gains 3 yards, brings up second out and 7.
He's got a couple quick first steps, which is an advantage as a running back. Even as a big man, it's good to get off the ball quickly.
I don't think we'll do any interviews tonight, as the band will be performing after the game, but
that would be a little
in
difficult.
3 weeks in the Kathleen game, we'll definitely get back in the habit of doing interviews for sure. So timeout's going to stop the clock with 2:21 to go, 42-6 in favor of the Dreadnaughts. The Eagles take that timeout.
Let's go ahead and take a commercial. We'll be right back to wrap this one up. Stay with us. Back at Bryant Stadium to wrap this one up with a running clock. That was a timeout to stop the clock, but that might be the last stoppage of the game unless something unanticipated happens here. Slow getting started for the Knots, but powerful second quarter. And continued to step on the gas in the third quarter, and then just kind of eased it back into neutral here in the fourth quarter. Mason Martin in the shotgun formation. Keeps the ball himself. Keeps his feet being spun around.
That could have almost been a flag there as the Eagles defender kind of spun him around well after the whistle had blown. Either way, that was not going anywhere. Whether he kept it or handed off, the Eagles had that well defensed for sure.
Mason's not the fleetest.
Look at that little do-si-do there between Jamari Stewart and Mason Martin. I'm told that Coach Castle is very fond of his sophomore quarterback. And Martin certainly in line, I think, to be the starting quarterback next year as a junior.
Lots of experience. He's probably going to hit that little growth spurt as well. I bet he grows a few inches, puts on a few pounds. There's movement on the offensive side of the line.
He definitely throw the ball for sure. If he adds some size, that could open up some opportunities for him at the next level for sure.
Well, as you said, he's going to have Smith to go to. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Arian's a 12th grader.
Yeah, excuse me, Aaron is a senior, correct. So I'm not sure who the receivers will be next year. We would definitely have 2 good running backs coming back with Kellum and Zaire Davis. The option pitch, but there's a flag well executed by Martin and Kellum, and he gets enough yardage for a first down. But there's a flag on the play, so this is probably going to come back. Yes, there is a flag against the Dreadnaughts, but great job of execution in the option there by Martin and Kellum. He kept it to the right moment, pitched it exactly when he should have.
Even with the running clock and penalty, they don't stop the clock, so we may get one more play in, but I think that's going to probably do it if the refs drag their feet a little bit. Yeah, they're going to take their time to mark it off, and by the time they get it, Knots get set, we'll be done.
A reminder, fans will not be permitted onto the field following tonight's game, as the marching band will be performing.
So under 10 seconds to go. I did not think Lakeland would take another snap.
The marching band will be performing.
So that's going to be it, Tim.
The end of the ball game with the final score.
Another victory for the Dreadnaughts, 42-6 over the Centenial Eagles. Solid game by Lakeland tonight. They did not necessarily come out and play super crisp, but they hung in there and got their job done tonight in pretty convincing fashion, 42-6.
Solid victory. I think they could have definitely came out of the gates a little bit quicker. It's like the horse slowly that opened the gates, and then they just kind of had to give them a few little notes of encouragement. But they got it and had some big plays.
Give Centennial credit too, as they definitely did not make things easy for Lakeland. They battled and gave Lakeland a good game, probably closer than the final score really indicates.
Highlight reel will look good. If you just look at the big plays from Lakeland, you would have thought that they were kicking it all on 4 cylinders, 5 cylinders. Blaine Watkins, though, I want to give him a shout out. Just a good job of the quarterback fighting for the Centennial Eagles. He just didn't give up. He threw a lot of passes, did a lot of plays, was out there a long time, took some big hits, but just hung in there and got rewarded with a couple points there at the end. So
certainly a much stiffer test for Lakeland than last week, and once again Lakeland passed it with flying colors, as they will now have 3 district games in a row to close out the regular season as they try to clinch yet another district championship.
What do you think on players of the game? Definitely special teams, as you said.
Well, no brand of special teams is Finley Graham with a dynamic 95-yard punt return to get the scoring going for Lakeland in the first quarter. And he also recovered that, kind of muffed kick. Well, not really a muffed kick, they just never really got to it. So it's an unusual looking onside kick, if you will. So kudos to Finley Graham. And then on defense, I would say the player of the game, there were several defenders that had multiple tackles. Cleotis England had a great game.
Yeah,
Sean Smith had a great game.
And, of course, Jalen Christian was
good
flying
job
around
in the secondary.
In the first
and
half.
France Jean Charles had a good game as well.
Yeah.
And I would, on an offense, you could go, there's nobody that really stood out. It's kind of a balanced effort, but I think probably DeMarcus Bowman with 2 touchdowns and well over 100 yards rushing. I'd probably give the offensive player of the game to Bowman. I would say, what do you think?
That's good enough. I like it. We're getting told to wrap it up here, and there's not really much more to say.
No,
good,
not really.
Good,
as we've been watching the team shake hands on Lakeland's having their quick kind of team huddle there at midfield and to make way for the band as they're starting to get their equipment on the field. We want to thank Agnini Family Dental, who sponsors our post-game show along with the pregame show. We appreciate their support of Lakeland football. Pleasure, Tim, to be back with you for the first time in 2019. And we'll have a couple of road games coming up, and we'll be back with you with the next live broadcast of the Lakeland Football Webcast coming up 3 weeks from the night. Senior night, Kathleen, here at Bryant Stadium on October the 25th at 7:30. We will see you then.
Congratulations to all the homecoming candidates and your final score here at Bryant Stadium tonight. Jeff Goddard, Tim Conti, Michael Barrett. 42-6 is your final score. Dreadnaughts stay undefeated, and we will be seeing you soon. Take care. God bless. Have a good night, everybody.
Go Knots.